School of Media and Communication, in collaboration with Bayan College, Oman, cordially invites you for an international conference on Media Metamorphosis 2024, Navigating Changing Voices, Audiences and Practices. Now, let us embrace the rich cultural diversity present at this conference by invoking the blessings through the prayer songs from both the institutions of collaboration.
Namo Arihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ayariyanam, Namo Vajayanam, Namo Loye Savasahunam, Eso Panchalamukaro, Sarva Pavapanasano, Mangalanam Chesavesyam, Padamam Havai Mangalam. Padamam Havai Mangalam. நீராறும் கடலொருத்த நிலமடந்த எழிலொழுகும் சீராறும் வதனமென திகபரத கண்டமிது தெக்கணமும் அது சிறந்த திராவிடன திருநாளும் தக்க சிறு பிறை நுதலும் தரித்தனலும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அணித்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணந்த இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிலமை தியம் வியந்த செயல் மறந்த வாழ்த்ததுமே வாழ்த்ததுமே வாழ்த்ததுமே.
Welcome you all to the day 2 of the international conference. Let's begin with the students' presentation. The theme given to the students are media mindfulness, influence unleashed, and gaming galore. The moderators for today's offline presentation will be Dr. N. Bhuvana and Ms. Arya Haridas. So let's start with Nitya from Sri Shashan Jain College, and the topic she has chosen is media mindfulness.
Morning. So, connection and convenience has transformed our lives, work, the communication we do due to the advent of digital age. Agreed? Cool. Technological advancement has increasingly, has an intrigued connection with our lives and our mental health. The consequences of our mental health are being very apparent nowadays. Talking about the concept, what I've taken is media mindfulness. The pervasive influence of social media is seen to be a growing cause towards mental crisis. It is actually inadvertently being a breeding ground towards your self-doubt, anxiety, and comparison. On the other hand, yes, it is a connection medium that helps connect people globally. That is also there. People who are using social media on their daily basis, what happens with them is that they tend to match with people who they see. These people could be, curated personas in social media. So, what happens? There comes a pressure exertion. They actually experience a pressure to conform with the unattainable standards which they see from those personas. Moving on to the theory that I have drafted on my own. It is obstinate oracle theory. Obstinate is being stubborn, refusing to change one's opinion and course of actions, that which we often see in today's younger generation, including me. Oracle, literary term, if I have to describe oracle, it is an authoritative and a wise person who is able to make good, wise expressions and answers. This theory, I'm splitting this theory into 3 phases. Phantom, current phase. Oracle, coverted phase. Debacle, captured phase. Most of the social media users fall under this phantom phase, which constitutes to 2 categories. One is proponent, other one is opponent. Proponent in the sense you support the course of actions, the current media trends, and the captivating features you see in that. Opponent is you oppose the traditional methodologies which were previously used for the media consumption. We had n number of devices starting from 1920s till now. But are we using all those? No, right? So there is a transformation. Maybe we can call this as metamorphosis. Oracle is media. Why I am saying so is because media is the authoritative decision maker today. Today, even a small thing, even a minimalistic decision is being taken only through the information which we gather, which we tend to acquire from media. So it is an authoritative decision maker here. Debacle abdina, it is a sudden ignominious failure. I am calling it the consumers. Why? I'll say. It is because people have started limiting their analytical thinking, their intuitive mindset, and avangaloda rational sense. Everything has been come down. Idukku or perfect example, I can give the inception of ChatGPT and its usage at workplaces. Media and consumers, if we merge them together, in the correlation ku very, very important aspect, I could say social media. Social media is an ostentatious medium. You have n number of features there. You have n number of things to do with, which is designed in an impressive way. It is a form of enticement. It can be a pulverizer. It can actually damage your valuable asset, utterly destroy, which is nothing but time. On the other hand, it can be a utilizer to the consumer's needs. Ipo, how to reverse this oracle and debacle? Eppadi consumers can be authoritatively wise decision makers. Adukku, we are reversing the positions, for which we can have the strategies. I have abbreviated the strategies as block, wherein B stands for bundles to dwindles. We can actually limit our searches, what we are actually doing. We tend to search one particular information and we keep barging on to many, which ends up gathering all unwanted. L stands for literacy of data consumption, which is very important. We should educate and create awareness about the potential risks involved in excessive technology use. O stands for optimal time usage. We have to make use of the time. We cannot keep squandering the time. We should stick on to the time. Conducive rather than being careless. C. You have to make optimal and best use of the time. You have to act with savoir-faire, being appropriate at a particular situation. You should know what you have to search and at how to get possible results and likely outcomes. K is knowing what you do and what you want. You should know what you want and what you have to do. You have to frame the intent, the purpose of your action, and you have to get and gather the information accordingly. In the end, I would like to conclude the theory by saying that media has provided a beautiful way for connection. It can help people connect globally. At the same time, it has harbored and limited the spaces where hostility thrives, posing significant threat to mental well-being. Mental well-being is a complex and a pressing issue which requires collective action. This can actually be brought down through fostering awareness, being responsible towards technological use, and at the same time advocating systematic changes in the digital landscape. By ensuring all the steps which I have mentioned, we would get a future where digital age enhances mental health and does not diminish it. Thank you.
First of all, Nitya, I appreciate on inventing this obstinate oracle theory. It's really apt for this Metamorphosis conference. So I truly appreciate on that. Can we applause, sir? Because I feel that this is very apt for and need of the hour. And most importantly, the way you concluded at last with respect to digital age and, the mental age, people need to be mindful about whatever they are doing. And I like this block concept where you abbreviated the BLOCK. And that's all. I don't have any questions. I just wanted to appreciate you on that. Thank you.
The next presentation will be done by Purni from Shashan Jain College.
Good morning, everyone. I am Purni from 2nd MCom A&F, here to give a talk about a concept that has become increasingly important in our digital age, media mindfulness. We live in a world where we are constantly bombarded with information from various media sources like social media, news outlets, streaming platforms, and more. This abundance of information can be empowering, but it also presents challenges to our mental well being and overall quality of life. Media mindfulness is about being conscious and intentional about how we engage with the media in our daily lives. It's about taking a step back and taking a look on our media consumption habits and making deliberate choices about what we consume and how we consume it. One aspect of media mindfulness is being aware of the impact that content we media content we can have in our mental and emotional well-being. Studies have shown that constant exposure to the negative content in media can cause anxiety, stress and depression, etc. By being mindful of the content we consume, we can protect our mental health and overall happiness in a better way. Another important aspect of media mindfulness is being critical of the information we actually encounter. In today's digital landscape, misinformation and fake news are bounded, making it crucial for us to approach media with a judgmental eye. By fact checking and verifying information before accepting it as truth, we can avoid falling as a victim to the misinformation, and we can be more informed judgmental. Additionally, media mindfulness involves being selective about the media we are mindful, like the food we consume. We should also be mindful that the media we consume. This means being intentional about the type of content we expose ourselves to and prioritizing the source that we align with our values and interest. Practicing media mindfulness is not completely disconnecting from digital world. Rather, it is about finding a balance that works for us and incorporating mindful media consumption habits into our daily routine. Like the steps, there are some steps to follow my media mindfulness, like being self-aware, like what we actually search in media and how to search and how the time we spent in media, and setting intentions, like how media is going to influence us. Those are the intentions, and setting boundaries. So how much time I'm going to spend in media and how much time I'm going to spend in real world. And being aware of the emotional responses, like prioritizing your feelings to the negative content, and encouraging offline connections, and digital detox means being disconnecting yourself and taking a break from the media. And in conclusion, media mindfulness is a value skill that can help us navigate the complexity of the digital age with greater clarity and intentional. By being conscious of the content we consume, critical of the information we encounter, and selective in our media choices, can be cultivate healthier life and more fulfilling relationship in media, and more betterment life. Thank you.
Hi, Purni. I think you have listed out so many points on media and being mindful about the usage of media, and you also see younger generation. I just want to know about your thoughts, because I think you mentioned about media digital detoxifying, right? So, how do you think? To what extent is it possible? Taking into considering the younger crowd and detoxification, because I'm sure most of you are with your digital space most of the time. So what are your thoughts on that?
Basically, digital detoxifying is taking a break from digital world. Now we can involve in many connections, like building connections with our parents. Most of them are not talking to our parents, so they are into Instagrams and reels, etc. So we can go into, we can talk and build connections with our parents and siblings also. And we can focus on what we are actually doing in our education or career base. So that is taking a break from digital. Rather going into searching for reels or doing YouTube videos, we can go and search for useful things, and setting boundaries. We have to set boundaries. Like I don't get notifications, or I don't go to Instagram after 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock. We have to set boundaries, and for 1 hour I can use Instagram, and more than that I will focus on what actually I'm doing.
Okay, fine.
We can build into more not getting into.
It's a long process. I don't think it happens overnight, right? Yeah. All right. Yes.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Shambhavi Jain, and I'm from second year Journalism and Communication Department. The topic I chose today is media mindfulness. So, media, on the first hand, is something that provides us information. On the other hand, why do we need to be mindful about this is a question nowadays we have. Like, media is something that gives us information. When it started, manipulating us and giving us fake news, we didn't come to know about it. We actually got so involved in the invent of media that we forgot to verify a facts or to even cross-check what are the facts we've been reading over the online platforms. Just as, let's just take, for example, when WhatsApp had just come in I guess 2010s and 2010 and 11, when it was just introduced in India. A lot of newses were circulated, and our parents used to assume it as it's gonna be true, and a lot of stories that were not real started circulating over the WhatsApp, and we didn't know how to cross check it and all that. So that's when media mindfulness concept actually kicked in, because even the teenagers nowadays, so much over the social media, faking up themselves and consuming wrong information and not knowing how to filter them up. So that's where we actually need to train them about media mindfulness. How do they cross check their informations? How do they verify the informations? And coming to print media, let's just take the example of Poonam Pandey. Okay, when she faked her own death over the social media, all over the social media, even the pages, Facebook, Instagram pages that we trust a lot with our news informations that we consume from, they also had published without cross checking, or how would they even do it, because social media does not permit us to cross check anything. And on the next day morning, she had released a video that no, this was all a campaign for the cervical cancer thing. But the newspapers did not publish the article of her death. Why do you think this happened? Because there is a verification, cross-checking in newspapers. That's a traditional form of media. I wouldn't have any doubt about it. And there are some articles that are even circulated and printed in the news channels, but certain things can only be done through traditional forms and not completely can be trusted. We cannot fully and completely trust over the social media forms. Now, first thing is we need to give a training to teenagers regarding the filtration and media mindfulness. How did they use it? And so this can really start from the home, right from their very parents, not to give them phone. Nowadays parents, I see, even a 5-year-old kid, or say 1-year-old kid, okay, they'll be like, you please don't cry, take the phone and just eat your food. And probably just to make them feed, they'll be giving them phone, just so that they keep quiet, being so much involved with the phone, and they're able to eat their food. So this is the condition nowadays. Media mindfulness is very important, as we need to spend some time with our kids also. And obviously kids also have to spend some time with our parents. And what we do at home is 8 to 9, we have this time slot. That's when my dad comes back home, and 8 o'clock. And then 8 to 9, we make sure that we make ourselves free and we don't have cell phones around us. And we just talk to each other. Or maybe any social media. Obviously, social media is something you cannot completely detach yourself from. But then any news that has struck our mind, or has taken a place inside our mind, back of the mind, we can at least discuss that with our friends or maybe our parents, and get it verified that way otherwise. So this is something very important. Complete social media detox is not possible in today's day. Let's just be very practical. But you should know where to do what, and be a little more mindful about it, and have that respect for some kind of activities you're doing daily. How many of you, I don't know how many of you have read a book, 5 a.m. by Robin Sharma? Okay, so they speak a lot about even media mindfulness. That is, they have this routine of getting up 5 a.m. in the morning and practicing or doing some kind of exercise or yoga and not touching your phone for the first 1 hour after you get up. Okay, that's when the time you get up soon after from your sleep, that's when your mind is more attentive, and that's where most of the learning happens, consciously or subconsciously. You may think, oh, I'm sleepy, nothing I can understand, but that's when your mind is the most active. Okay, and so 5 a.m. when you get up at that time, you think that you're more into sleep, but it's not like that. Subconsciously, you're registering something inside your head. So that book completely states that 1 hour after you get up, you're not supposed to touch your social medias. Instead, do something, because your head is hyperactive that time. Your mind is hyperactive. So that's when you need to read some books, write a journal, plan your day, or probably connect with some friends, or maybe go for a walk or something like that. That makes your day very good, and your grasping power more higher, and make you energetic throughout the day. That's it. Thank you.
Hi, Shambhavi. Regarding this Poonam Pandey thing you told, I think she had posted in her page, letting the audience know that, she's not anymore. So, in that case, won't any media platform or media organization, won't it rely when the source is themselves?
And I also have this question: why didn't the newspaper on the next day, very next day, publish about it? This was something done the day before. Like today, if I'm even posting something on my social media, next day it should be out in the newspapers. Why wasn't it up in the newspaper?
Your question is right, but do you think that the answer is just that it's not got verified, so that's the reason they have not published, because the source is coming from her own Insta page, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But social media, all the news channels, either Chennai or whatever, I don't know, news from Chennai, there are a lot of Instagram pages that gives us news, is like current news. Every second we get some of the news on these Instagram pages, and they are quite trustworthy by the teenagers and the youths today. And they had all, viral biryani or whatever. All these are North Indian Instagram news channels for the celebrities and all. They had all posted, and a lot of actors also started grieving about it, posting about it, and showing their sadness, and that and all happened. But there was no proper verification. Even the newspapers, they didn't.
So how do you measure your verification, as in authenticity? How do you measure that?
Social media can't do that. That's very true.
Okay.
But
That's actually a very big statement. An example, especially during disasters.
okay.
So when especially during disasters, what happens is that traditional media takes a backseat. Chennai floods 2015 is a perfect classic example for that. When the traditional media, be it the Times of India or the Hindu, it was actually shut for 2 days. I don't know whether you could recollect that. So it was during that time that social media paved the way, and I think that we just the situation was changed and we could get back to normalcy. So my point here is that the demand and supply, especially during disasters, was verified only through social media.
True.
One part of the Chennai would be requiring food or any other medical aid, and another part would be having all these supplies. So this bridge especially could be verified only due to social media. You have this hashtag verified. So I think that this statement, maybe that social media cannot do that. I think you could recollect on that.
Yeah,
But especially not every time, I
Yeah,
understand. But especially during disasters, I think social media, it works in a jiffy comparative to the traditional one. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Right.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks.
you.
So as you said, I think it's on to them, because it's easy for us to convey our like what
It takes
can be-
21
yes.
days to make or break a habit.
Yes, exactly. More than that, I believe. So as you said, as you wake up, then you start off, maybe 1 hour break. The same, because I don't think anybody goes to bed without browsing your Instagram pages here, right? Until the last 5 minutes. So it definitely takes a lot of time to inculcate that habit in all of us. Need good presentation.
Thank you, ma'am. The next presentation is by Bhumita from Shashan Jain College.
Good day, everyone. I'm Bhumita from 2nd MA Journalism and Communication. My topic is Influence Unleashed, the Power and Pitfalls of Social Media Influencers. In this generation, we, the people living in the world, where social media has become a sixth finger of our hand and seventh sense of our humans, because everyone is using social media here. And social media is a platform where people connects together, and it also helps to gain vast knowledge from different fields also. And nowadays, new entrepreneurs, budding entrepreneurs are preferring social media for promoting their products and services. And they are using social media influencers also. And this gives an opportunity for social media influencers to gain money. These are the few positive sides of the social media, but it has its own negative roles also. For example, I'm not blaming all the social media influencers. Few are really giving their own review by their own experiences. But many of the social media influencers are not like that. They actually promoting a product for the sake of only money. They are just like that, promoting the products. They are not even have a basic knowledge about the product what they are promoting. For example, if I bought a facial cream or some other products, cosmetic products, what if it's really has any harmful products in it? They will take responsibility for me.
But even the products that are sold in social media is all approved products only, right?
Not all the products, ma'am.
Most of them. Okay.
So the chance is high when compared to the television traditional media, ma'am. That's my point.
Okay. So reach, but not everything has a reach also in social media, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Or say, for example, or juicy chemistry or some organic product. See how that reach happens. It's over the usage and users, right? Yes.
ma'am.
So after the approval only it's going on, right?
Yes.
So what do you say? So it's based on the reviews and the acceptance. The product has more reach, right? Isn't it so?
Yes.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So that's what I wanted to ask.
My question for the audience: when you buy a product online, guys, do you go to that page and see how many of them have followed that page? Yes or no? So you check the authenticity depending upon the number of followers to that particular brand. If others follow, which means that you also blindly follow because somebody else of your known ones are following it, right? So that's the beauty of social media marketing.
Ma'am, actually now we can buy followers also, ma'am. For
Yeah.
500, they can give 100 followers.
Yes, everything is all about marketing.
That's
So how do you escape from this, Bhumita?
actually, ma'am, we can refer the comment section, ma'am. All the people.
Comment me, இப்போ வந்து அப்படி பார்த்தா comment also they are paying and asking people to comment, right? One comment per 10 rupees or something like that.
But
Personal use. So we don't have a choice, is it? We are supposed to buy that product and allergy ஆனாலும் பரவாயில்ல அந்த cream வாங்கிட்டு whatever you told. No choice, is it?
ma'am, if I have some the illness, I have to refer the doctor, ma'am. Why I should follow the words of social media influence, ma'am?
Yeah, with respect to medical illness, yes, it's fine. But buying a product as such, so we need to, I think, buy the product and then understand what it is all about. We cannot escape from this social media marketing.
We can't escape, but we have to have some awareness about it.
Exactly. So we need to do a study before even buying a small, let it be a small kajal to any type of mixie or whatever. We need to do some basic virtual research before even purchasing it. That's all. Thank you, Bhumi.
The next presentation is by Satvika from Shashan Jain College.
So hello, good morning everybody. I'm Satvika from Journalism Department. Yeah, it's again media mindfulness, my topic. So I have planned to talk about how media mindfulness is giving a negative aspect to an extent. So my topic is I'll be concentrating on, in the name of mindfulness, how are we exceeding our limits, which leads to the negative side. So when we are using media, social media or whatever it in that case, we think we are very relaxed, we reduce all our stress or anything. So in the name of reducing stress, in the name of reducing depression, anxiety, we tend to overuse it sometimes, And then that leads to another kind of stress and depression. So starting from this extent to that extent, I will be talking about. So I am sure that we all know the concept of conscious mind and subconscious mind. So when we are listening to the conscious mind, actually listening to the conscious mind is actually a difficult task for everybody in today's generation. So we all have the concept of subconscious mind, which is always guiding and misleading us. So when we decide, okay, I'm going to use YouTube or Instagram only for 1 hour today, and exceeding that 1 hour, our conscious mind will tell, okay, it is your time for today now. But it is our subconscious mind which is telling, okay, it's okay, parvala, go for another 5 minutes. Then that 5 minutes will go for another 10, 15, 20 minutes, and that keeps on exceeding. So again, the posts coming on, and okay, maybe the person who is posting is the person who we are fan following, everybody, the person. So again, we keep on seeing, and we'll wait for the next few things, and that again, okay, if the person or whom we are following is not posting for another days, more than he is becoming stressful, we become stressful. Okay, why is he not posting for another 2 days? So I'm not able to relieve my stress. So we expect that few things on the particular day. So that is my one point. And another point is like, after using social media or after consuming social media for few months or even few weeks, in the sense, it is on the time we decide up to, even the things we perceive or the things we perceive on intrapersonal communication changes. So how I accept things, how I take in things emotionally, changes. And then, so I think many of the speakers have covered about practicing detox and how we relieve things. And today's world is like, we cannot escape from the media, social media today. But my point is to have a control. It is very difficult to have a control, but try to listen to our conscious mind and try to listen to our rules we set. So about that 5 a.m. book with which the previous speaker Shambhavi told, that has few tips about how we practice the tips. So like morning 5 a.m. you get up and do not watch social media, do yoga. So it depends on particular individuals on how you choose to entertain yourself in the morning. So that is why we had PM Modi ji talk about engage yourself into more cultural activities this time, this new year especially, because we read more news about getting like people overstressing themselves with social media, like maybe not only in social media but games like Blue Whale, etc. So we see a lot of youngsters dying. So we had Modi ji's announcement about engage yourself into a lot of cultural activities this new year, and as a part of central government we also had a lot of improvement in the cultural department, and he organized more concerts to be stressless and all. So that's all about my topic.
I remember you are not in none of the social media, right? I remember once upon a time, I remember you telling me this. So you will be the best person for telling as to how you're supposed to be away from social media or usage of less of social media. How is that even possible in today's world that she's not on Insta, she's not in Facebook, LinkedIn, nothing she is there in? You use mail? You use mail, right? Only mail, only Gmail.
So I know it is shocking to everybody. How abdin keta again, I being engaging myself. So I am a Bharatanatyam dancer, by the way. So I being engaged me into a cultural activity, and I try to concentrate more on that. And so I have personal experiences on people facing like how they start slowly with engaging to relieve their stress, and now they are not able to come out of it and they are facing serious problem about it. So maybe I'm little scared of using social media. Maybe. Yeah, I know it's shocking. Everybody is looking at me at I'm a stone age person. Mari paathan irukkinga. But yeah, paravala. Yeah, I'm little scared nu vechikalam. And another thing is like what do you say, people around me also tell, okay, social media, once you are into it you get addicted, and I have a surrounded people wherein they scare about social media. So I don't know, maybe that led.
Okay, tell me one thing honestly, you're not in any of the social media, do you think that you're missing something? Missing in terms of connecting with your loved ones, or it might be about knowing about a job opportunity, or about a course, about an event. anywhere in your life have you felt that you have not been updated?
So whatever we get in social media is now available through WhatsApp. So as of now, till date, I have not felt okay.
WhatsApp is also another type of social media, but
Sure,
WhatsApp
but we cannot
get away-
escape
yeah.
by using without using WhatsApp. Mudinjirnda, maybe I could have tried that, but yeah, today WhatsApp, whatever, like you have WhatsApp channels, YouTube channels. So I'm there in YouTube, okay. So avlo mosam illa, but yeah. Whatever we get in Instagram, Facebook, I think we get the same information through WhatsApp, through my friends. Till date, I have not felt okay. I'm missing something. So
Okay.
I don't
Thank
feel
you.
any-
Thank you.
So, good day to everyone 100% here. And thank you, ma'am, for providing me this opportunity. I'm very grateful to be here. So, I'll be talking about, as per like what the other speaker said, media mindfulness, obviously. But my topic will be focused more upon how we can balance how we can adapt few strategies to maintain our mental health in this digital world. So, what what era are we living in? So I would like to call this era as the digital era or the AI generation, where more people are engaged more into AIs and other things. AI generation is where the AIs and the robots are taking over the chores which are used to be delivered by the human people. AI is now from technically performing the more intricate chores. It is now even performing the more domestic chores, allowing it to be a part of our everyday lives. So, when it comes to sharing our personal information in this digital era, our personal information is no longer a private information. It is all over the world and we are connected with it anyway. The seriousness of this issue will be spoken upon more about how we are consuming the media and how much are we putting ourselves and how much are we presenting ourselves to the world. The popular term FOMO, the fear of missing out, it is prominent among the younger generation where people feel like they are missing out on something when they are not being a part of social media or when they are not having a social presence. It affects them in a way like they are not being a part of the peers. They feel like they are missing out on something very huge, and this constant pressure put upon themselves, they are forced to be on an online presence apart from their liking. And a popular term, or the Gen Zs as we call them, today their way of saying good morning starts upon by posting a picture of their outfit of the day, OOTD, as the popular term suggests, in the Instagram, in an aesthetical way. So how are we going to manage these symptoms with practicing the digital detox or managing our mental health in the digital world? Few of the strategies are, first upon, the toxic positivity of hustle culture, the popular term, hustle culture. To be honest, we are not robots. Do we agree with it all? We are not robots. We are human beings who can't perform 100 things at once, and it is okay to say that there is no shame in it. But the media promoting hustle culture and motivating people to do 100 things at once increases the level of cortisol, the popular stress hormone in our body, and allowing it to spike at a skyrocket level, and it obviously affects our mental health. Number 2, be mindful of what you consume. Last week, I came across a devastating news of passing away of actress Suhani Bhatnagar, the Dangal actress who played the role of young Babita. She was 19 years old. She was affected with a condition called dermatomyositis, an autoimmune disease. She was diagnosed with it on February 7th, and she passed away on February 17th. Her parents were devastated, and I was devastated. I was deeply disheartened to know about this because I was a very big fan of her performance, and I deeply loved the movie Dangal. And with this, even though it disheartened me to the core and shaken me to the core, I get to know about a problem called dermatomyositis. I started googling upon it, and I got to know about the symptoms and all. And it obviously, even though it interests me in a way, like where I came to know about a particular disease which has been more, which is simply rare, but still affects people like 2 to 3 out of million. It is still disheartening to know that a 19-year-old girl. Who is an amazing actress and a prominent persona is not more with us anymore. She is not there. And number three would be unwind every now and then. Unwind every now and then is when digital detox, as everyone says, it is not like we are bound to stay away from the social media ever, like altogether. We are the one who are control. We must be the one who is controlling the digital detox, digital media, and not the other way around. So we must have a control over what we consume and all. And number four would be kindly adhere to the guidelines and the regulations of every media platform. Like Instagram has their own set of guidelines. The YouTube has their own set of guidelines and regulations. The comment section, especially when people are commenting, when people are commenting when people are commenting the unwanted comments and disturbing the other people's mindset, everyone is getting affected because of it. And in a popular way, the World War III starts in the YouTube comment section. So be mindful and adhere to the guidelines and the regulations put forth by every media platform. And finally, be conscious about what you consume and unwind every now and then. And I'd like to conclude by saying, stay safe, stay conscious, and stay connected. It is the medium which we are using right now, and it must not overtake us at any cost. Thank you.
And the last point you stole about the Instagram and other social media platforms, the rules and regulations.
Yeah.
Can you give us some rules and regulations that you adhere to from various social media?
Especially
websites?
when it comes to YouTube.
Instagram or okay.
Especially when it comes to YouTube, people are commenting abusive words or something. When some people started commenting their opinions, people get offended out of nowhere. They personally take the comment which has been put forth by the stranger. They feel like they have been attacked personally, and which contributes to the other things, and simply the World War III happens.
Good morning, I'm Tisha from First BSc Psychology. My paper is about artificial intelligence and how psychology is being involved in it and how AI is used in psychology. So psychology plays an important role in developing AI because it helps them to do things humans are capable of, such as recognizing emotions, decision making, reasoning, and other complex activities that only humans have been able to do so far. With the help of a large amount of data, AI can be given certain abilities that make them really helpful in the field of psychology. For example, artificial intelligence can help diagnose many problems related to mental health by analyzing the data generated in patterns of human behavior. AI has proved to be the most effective way to create customized plans for each individual, as they are capable of storing a lot more information than us. So they can provide personalized ideas. Another example of how AI is used in psychology is VR therapy. This form of virtual reality therapy helps people overcome their phobias and traumas. For example, if someone has fear of public speaking, they can practice that through AI and overcome their fear. AI is used for education purposes as well. It analyzes brain data in neuroscience and enhances our understanding of human brain and its efficiency. So, but there are also certain cons because there are confidential information involved here, and they're always supposed to stay confidential, and they cannot be used to exploit people. And and AI cannot replace human beings, that is for sure, because our brains work different, and we feed the data we want them to know. So they can't come up with new things. If properly used, AI can be an effective tool in the field of psychology. Thank you.
Hi, Tisha. You spoke about all the positives of AI. So it could have been better if you could have touched upon the negatives as well. So the question obviously is, since you spoke about all the merits of AI, is there any demerits at all?
Yes, ma'am, definitely. There are technical problems. There can obviously be like technical glitches where that can bring down their efficiency and how they work. Because it's all about how data is stored. Because robots and they can't work as the same as human beings. So, in case there is like any breach, any of exposing of data and all that, that can, because in psychology it's all about confidential information and all that, so that cannot be released or used against the person who's being used there. So there are definitely pros and cons to every side, but
Have you recently come across this Rashmika's photo being morphed and used in
yes,
because of So
Yes,
what is your viewpoint on that? Because since you spoke about psychology,
yes,
so
ma'am.
let's just combine with psychology plus Rashmika's issues plus AI. So
Yes.
what is your viewpoint on that?
So it is about how people use it. Everybody, if they're using it in a positive way, it can obviously reach a positive place. But then there are obviously people who use it like in a very negative way also. It's every individual's, but it can affect people like mentally. But in the Department of Psychology and Therapy, kind of how AI is used in these places, then it's definitely helpful. But about how other people use AI is their ethical views and all that point is from within.
And do you think ChatGPT is giving you the right kind of information when you go for it?
No, ma'am, because when you Google it, there's like a more vast information. This is like very, you have to like search more and more about what you want. But then if you Google it, it's like very, there's like different topics in the same names and all that. So it can't be like properly verified.
Okay, fine. So I think to some extent,
Yes,
your viewpoint is that to some extent we can rely on it.
Yes, ma'am.
But not as a whole.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And I was mainly talking about how AI is being used in psychology. field.
Psychology, yes.
So I couldn't cover more about the other places.
Okay, I think short and sweet. It
Yes.
was. Yes.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Anusha from third year BSc Psychology. And I'm delighted to be here to discuss about a topic that is relevant in today's world. The subject I will delve into is media mindfulness, strategies for digital well-being. Media mindfulness. I'm going to share my insights about what is media mindfulness. I will discuss some statistics which I have taken from reliable government sources, and I will give some practical strategies for digital well-being. First, I would like to highlight that it's not about the quantity of the screen time we consume in social media, but the quality of media we consume. So media mindfulness, what is it? It's about being conscious about how digital media influences our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. How it influences our thoughts and feelings. It has become a concern because a lot of people are consuming media and we take in all the information. We don't know if it's right or wrong. So it has become a serious concern. I will discuss some statistics here. So that is this report called the Average Screen Time Stats 2023. It was published by Data Reportal. It has said that the average screen time that people use is 6 hours 37 minutes per day. So imagine a normal person using their screen time for 6 hours on an average. Okay, this is global stats. What about India? A study by Indian Pediatrics has highlighted that children are the ones who use social media the most, and they consume media for at least 2 hours. Well, of course, compared to other countries, it is significantly lower in India, but Indian parents are not convinced about it. 37% parents fear that social media affects so much, like it adversely affects their children's behavior, their social interactions, their food habits, and academic performance. So we know various types of media, right? Among them, television and internet are the most widely used, but still social media is the concern for us. In India, the age group that most uses social media is between the age of 18 to 25, and they use social media for an average of 3 hours and 13 minutes. So scientists wanted to investigate whether these age group get affected by the constant use of digital media. So they conducted a systematic review of over 60 studies. They studied the sleep outcomes and found that digital media severely impacts the students' sleep onset, sleep quality, and daytime tiredness. There are like 8 sleep outcomes, but among them, these 3 are severely affected. So now it's clear that we cultivate the art of media mindfulness. I have got some practical strategies that we could follow for enhancing our digital well-being. Some of them were discussed by Purani. Setting boundaries, practicing information hygiene, tech-free breaks, digital detox periods, and digital well-being tools. Setting boundaries is about limiting your screen time. Of course, as ma'am had pointed out, we can't avoid using social media entirely. It takes a long process to do that, but we could use it limitedly. If we are going to do a task for 3 hours straight, we could give 10 minutes break for it. Setting boundaries. So once I complete this task, I can use social media for 10 minutes. Practicing information hygiene. Now this is the most difficult because young adults and middle-aged adults know what type of content is exposed in social media and they know what to take in and what not. But teenagers don't have that much awareness about what they are taking, as some of the students discussed. They take in all the comments very seriously and their mental health gets impacted. But parents can guide their children, teachers can guide their students, and friends can guide their other friends about what information we can take in from social media and what we can avoid. Digital detox periods, as Purni had mentioned, and digital well-being tools. I have personal experience in this because in my 12th standard, it was during the lockdown period, I used to spend an average of 5 hours in Instagram app. So I found this option. I felt like I discovered it. In all your mobile devices, when you open the settings app, there is an option called digital well-being and parental control. You can put a timer for each app. So I put a timer for 30 minutes for WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook. In the beginning, it didn't work for me. So I started okay, I will put a timer for 1 hour, 15 minutes. I practiced it for 2 weeks. Then I got used to it. And then I reduced the timer. Okay, now, since I've practiced for 1 hour and 15 minutes, I will use it for 45 minutes. It was difficult, but I tried it. As ma'am said, it's a long process. We have to practice it. But once you've practiced it, you will have a good grasp of it. And now I use Instagram for an average of 30 minutes. So now my overall screen time is just 1 hour. So this is my personal experience I wanted to share. To conclude, media mindfulness is not just about managing screen time, but it's also about creating a mindful practice of enhancing your digital well-being. So by practicing the strategies that I just discussed, you can create a healthier balance, boost productivity, and maintain your well-being. Thank you for your time.
The next is Raghavi from Shashan Jain College.
Good day to all. I'm here to present about some points of negative basic effects of media mindfulness. First, I want to share this. I have a lot of fear of everything. Taking seminar, blah, blah, everything. My teachers will know that. So I want to face this fear and break this fear of everything. And this is the small step So I attend this conference. Okay, I'm coming this topic. Nowadays, too much time on social media can make you feel bad about yourself because you compare yourself to others. Watching a violent or disturbing content in news can make you feel scared. Spending too much time on screen can hurt your eyes and make it hard to sleep. Always being a content to technologies can make you less focus on real world around you. Media mindfulness can lead to addiction where you feel like always need to checking your device or social media while can taking away from your time doing important things like playing outside or spending time with families. Heavy media consumption can contribute to lifestyle whether you are sitting or laying down on without moving much, which can harm your physical health. This the important to aware of negative effects of media mindfulness so that you can make choice about your engage with technology and media is your daily life. Thank you.
So, good day, everyone. Can I start? Yeah, please. Yeah. So, good day, everyone. Myself, Isha. I'm first BCom CA of our college, Shastran Jain College. So, my topic for today is media mindfulness. I think we are all aware of the digital usages today and the effects, the impacts. There are both positive and negative impacts. So, let's go by one. Now, next slide, please. So, on introduction, we see that media has its own benefits and its own negatives. As the previous speaker spoke, that the dislike button, well, we do use dislike buttons to block it, but then I personally think that feedbacks are good, and then the point that improvement comes from negativeness. At least we have a platform that we know that we are doing something which is not likable by the viewers, and we can edit it and change it. So the first topic for today is, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Digital boundaries. So digital boundaries is nothing but the limits that we set for ourselves on a virtual world. We all know that we have boundaries. Ever since we were like a 3-year kid, our parents used to tell, don't talk to strangers, don't get chocolates from unknown people. So even those are boundaries. And today, we need to create new boundaries that have not existed before, such as digital boundaries. That is limiting our screen time, limiting whom we talk to, what we post and how it is affecting the society, what we watch. So the importance of digital boundaries are yet to be known to everyone. First, digital boundaries help us create productivity. It gives us, it improves our information, knowledge, etc. So constant comparison comes through digital boundaries. We all know about the fear of missing out, right? So such as the impacts of real life situations. Everything that we watch is not true. And then, ma'am. So, and then the next important is quality over quantity. So, quality is much more valuable than the quantity. As we all know, iPhones are much valuable in today's world than, having for 10 normal phones. The need for having quality times is like it gives us a self-esteem and self-identity. Being ourselves and embracing our true identity. And then it gives us quality time. It gives us open conversations, supportive relationships, and positive mindset, which is very important. And then, so As Elon Musk has said, I think there should be regulations on social media to be degree that is negatively affects the public good, which he says that the content should be good and not in a negative way, which affects the people. So next is my mindfulness practices. Mindfulness practices is getting to know ourselves, what we want, how we feel, and what makes us feel good and what makes us feel us. Practices such as meditation, exercises, deep breathings help us to know to let go of the past concerns and future anxieties. Yeah, so personally, I think reducing screen times, getting comparing ourselves is bringing us down in many ways. Not only on focusing on our life, rather getting a constant complaint. Oh, they've gone there. We didn't go to that place yet. And then, how many of us knows what is dopamine is? Is there anyone? Yeah. So dopamines are happy hormones. Usually they used to segregate when someone gets good grades or like achieves something. But then nowadays dopamines are getting secreted for nothing but just watching reels, which gives us happiness by just watching reels, makes us less competitive in nature, less encouraging to achieve something in real life. And then, mom. And then the next important topic is physical activity. Physical activity improves our mental health. It reduces anxiety. It also helps our body in creating endorphins. And then physical activities doesn't mean like just walking and then running. You can participate in sports or something which gives us team spirits and it improves our self-esteem. Physical activities mainly help us to feel good, which is like very important in nowadays. So next is seeking professional support. So seeking professional support is when you feel really low, you can ask help. There's nothing wrong in asking help or something. There's no shame in that. We all know Rock, right? The actor, the gym person. Yeah. So he has said that I found that with depression, one of the most important things you could realize is that you're not alone. You're not the first to go through it. You're not the last to go through it either. So everything that we feel today is not what only we are feeling. There are people who have already felt it, and there are people who are gonna go through that phase. And all we can do is ask help from the previous who has already gone through it, and then make sure that we can help the people who are not suffering exactly, who are currently going through it. We can help it. All we have to do is just listen. All they need is a listening person. I know that psychologists are going for a therapy is expensive. So just, good people is all enough. All we need is good people, good listeners who doesn't judge us. So find a circle like that. And then, mom, next. Thank you. So one of the main key strategies for balancing our mental health is what I have spoken before. First is regular exercises, which gives us a boost and mood. Overall improvement comes, and then quality sleep. Quality sleep is so important. How many of us sleep late nights? Late nights since it's 1, 2, 3, right? Yeah. See, even my friends. I can't tell I sleep late night, but then I do sleep at 11 or 12, which is pretty late. Late. Yes, mom, it is late, mom. But then comparative to people who sleep at 2, 3, I am a little better, I guess. So yeah, sleep is very important. That is what is gonna get us through the day. Whatever we meet throughout the day, that sleep is gonna help us. How many of us felt that sleep when we get so stressed, we sleep for 2 minutes and then we feel, oh good, it's good now. Right? So, and then get hobbies. watching dramas is not a hobby, which I found out during this 12th exam holidays. I literally spent like 2 months watching anime series. I don't know what I did. And then later I realized I didn't do anything productive. Just that I learned few words of other languages. And then self-reflection. Think on what we want. Think what our body needs. What our emotions are telling us, our thoughts and our behaviors. Then time management. Yeah, time management. I think I shouldn't speak because I came pretty late today. And yeah, I'm sorry for that, for coming late. Yeah, guys, so punctuality is really important. And let's hope that we improve our punctualities. I hope that I improve my punctuality. And then, Mom, next slide, please, Mom. So yeah, my real wish is for families, because therapies are costly, families are free cost. Rather than spending time in our screens when we are together, having a fun time talking together is much better. It gives connectivity. We never know who's gonna get job and move abroad next week. Like literally, my relatives moving out next week. So yeah. Just spend time together. Photos might give us memories, but mental memories are even good. Trust me on that. Mom, and then next. So yeah, I've been boring you guys for a long time. So conclusion is that mindfulness is a valuable approach. Okay. And then cultivating awareness and intentional mindful consumption. So we don't know much on this topic. We have to make sure that people know what and how social media affects people, and we can give them techniques like meditation practices, breathing practices, exercises and stuff. And then what will I talk about? Yeah, the age of constant connectivity. So we are on that age. To be on online, to reply to stories our friends have posted, or that expecting likes from them. I think we can come back on that. Not only on being online, posting stuff on media. Actually, to be honest, I gave my phone to that Akkad, asking her to take photos of me. But then let's slowly improve on that. Then that's it, Mom. Next slide. Question and answer. Thank you.
All the speakers were very good, so that's why it took us a longer duration to decide as to who is the best speaker here. Okay, so we basically have selected 3 best speakers out of this lot. So we have Nitya from MA Journalism, Shasun. We have Anushya. Yes, I'm sorry, your department? BSc Psychology, great. And we have Aprajita, MSc Viscom. Yes. And also the last presentation, we were very inspired. I think I need to give a special mention to Isha. You have done a wonderful job with your presentation. Very good. And to all the participants who have come here, all of you have done a very good job. So I think claps to all the participants. Yes.
I cordially welcome Dr. Jay Shaktivel, Assistant Professor, Department of Journalism and Communication, University of Madras, to our Day 2 of the International Conference on Media Metamorphosis. Now, I request Ms. Shanbagam, Head of the Department of Journalism and Communication, to introduce our Chief Chair of the session.
Thank you, Ma. Good day, everyone. முனைவர் தங்க ஜெயசக்திவேல், பதிப்பாசிரியர், சென்னை பல்கலைக்கழகத்தில் முதுகலை இதழியல் மற்றும் முனைவர் பட்டமும் பெற்றவர். பல்லாண்டுகளாக வெளிநாட்டு வானொலி துறையில் இயங்கி வரும் ஆய்வாளர், பத்திரிகையாளர், சிற்றலை வானொலி, பண்பலை வானொலி, ஹாம் வானொலி, சமுதாய வானொலி மற்றும் TRM வானொலி என்று பல விரிவான தளங்களில் தொடர்ந்து ஆய்வுகள் மேற்கொண்டு வருகிறார். உலக வானொலிகள், ஹாம் வானொலி ஆகிய நூல்களை எழுதியும் பன்முக பார்வையில் புத்தக வரிசையில் சீன வானொலி, இலங்கை வானொலி, BBC வானொலி, வேரிதாஸ் வானொலிகளை மையப்படுத்தி நூல்களை தொகுத்தும் உள்ளார். BBC உலக சேவை, மனோன்மணியம் சுந்தரனார் பல்கலைக்கழகம் ஆகியவற்றில் பணியாற்றி தற்பொழுது சென்னை பல்கலைக்கழகத்தில் இதழியல் மற்றும் தொடர்பியல் துறையில் உதவி பேராசிரியராக பணியாற்றி வருகிறார். We welcome you, sir.
I request Ms. Samantha from the Department of Journalism and Communication to felicitate Dr. Jaya Shaktivel. Now, without any further delay, let's start with today's presentations. I shall call upon Dr. Gayatri, Assistant Professor from the Department of English from Sri Shankarlal Shashan Jain College.
Good morning to one and all present here. I am Dr. V. Gayatri, Assistant Professor, Department of English of this college. My topic is a comparative analysis of Bernard Shaw's play Pygmalion and the Tamil movie Irudhi Sutru. So before going to the story, let me give some details about George Bernard Shaw. He was an Irish playwright, critic and political activist. He is known for his wit, satire and keen social commentary, which he exhibited in all his works. And mostly he dealt with class inequality, the hypocrisy of Victorian society during that time, and the shortcomings of capitalism. And his most famous works include Pygmalion, Man and Superman, Major Barbara, Saint Joan, Applecart, and Arms and the Man. And he was a master of creating complex characters that challenge conventional ideas. Most of his characters, the heroes in his plays, they challenge the conventional ideas of the society. Next. Now let me give some points about Sudha Kongara, the director of the movie Irudhi Sutru. She is an Indian filmmaker known for her work in the Tamil and Telugu film industries. And she achieved international recognition with her venture Irudhi Sutru. That movie got released in Tamil in the year 2016, at the same time in Hindi also. Later it was remade in Telugu. And Surare Potru is another masterpiece which everyone has known about it. So let me present the story of both Pygmalion the play and the movie Irudhi Sutru in a nutshell. I have given the images of both the play and movie. The term Pygmalion has come from the name of the Greek sculptor, one who created a statue called Galatea. Later he falls in love with that particular statue, and then he worships the goddess of love and beauty, Aphrodite. Later the god grants his wishes, and the statue comes to life. Later the sculptor gets married to the statue. That is the story of Pygmalion. I'm just giving the significance of the title. Now I'm going to tell you the story in a nutshell of Pygmalion. In this story, the protagonist, the hero of the play, is Professor Henry Higgins, who is a phonetic expert. He is keen about the pronunciation of how the way people pronounce English language. He is very particular about language and the way people present it. So all the time he keeps a notebook and he notes down when people pronounce English words. When the play opens in a marketplace, in the summer time, it was a rainy time, people get shelter in one particular marketplace. So there are a number of people such as middle class as well as people, those who belong to lower class. Everybody joined together at that time. There is a girl by name Eliza Doolittle, one who is the heroine of the play. She speaks a Cockney language. Cockney language is a dialect which is used in London among the lower class people, and she speaks English with that accent. Professor Higgins keeps on noting down whatever she speaks, and the people there around, those who surrounded there, they alert Eliza that somebody is noting down whatever you're speaking. At that time, she gets shocked and she gets scared. There is another character by name Colonel Pickering, one who is also a phonetic specialist. He is from India, and he wants to meet Professor Higgins. They just meet at there itself. Incidentally, they meet each other, and Professor Higgins tells that he is a phonetic expert, and he has a habit of noting down the way people speak. And he tells Eliza also, this is why he noted down whatever she spoke, and he even challenges that he'll be able to change the girl into a fashionable lady. lady. That is, she can become a higher class lady within 3 months by his way of training English as well as phonetics. So on listening to this, Eliza leaves the place, and Colonel Pickering, he goes to Professor Higgins' house the next day, and they have a discussion on phonetics and all. He shows his equipments for recording. All these things are going on. At that time, the housemaid, Miss Pierce, comes and announces that there is a girl with a strange accent, one who has come to meet Professor Higgins. So Eliza comes there, and she shows some interest that she and tells Higgins that she wants to learn the language, and she wants to convert herself as a lady. The term lady means here higher class lady, so that she's a florist, so that she may be able to get some decent job in that place. So she wants to learn, she shows interest in learning a proper way of speaking English. First, Higgins is reluctant, and he tells her that there will be a lot of fee need to be paid. And on listening to this, Colonel Pickering, he has got some interest, and he offers, if you train Eliza, I'll be ready to bear the entire cost which will be there for the training. So at last, Higgins also gets some interest, and he starts training Eliza Doolittle. Her full name is Eliza Doolittle, and he makes her stay at home. Her way of dressing and everything is getting changed at that time. So Eliza Doolittle's father, his name is Alfred Doolittle. He doesn't have any concern towards his daughter, but when he comes to know that his daughter is staying in someone's house, he comes and threatens Higgins. At that time, Higgins offers some money to Alfred Doolittle, and he accepts that. 5 pounds or 10 pounds, he says, he just tells him that he would give. Alfred Doolittle accepts that, and he leaves the place. And for the next 3 months or some period of time, Eliza stays there with both. Colonel Pickering also involves in that. Professor Higgins gives her training, and first test was conducted, and there are some people. There are other characters also in that play. The young guy named Freddy, he belongs to middle class sect, and his mother, they all come to Higgins' mother's house. There he just conducts a test, and Eliza goes and speaks there. At first she speaks in a proper language, but at last anyway she has got used to her own way of speaking. She just gossips something about her aunt, and she fails in the test. So Higgins gets irritated, and next the training goes on. At last he is able to make Eliza a successful lady. In a garden party, she is able to communicate in a proper manner as Higgins expected. This is the end of the story. She becomes successful. But other details now, when I compare these two stories through my PPT, I'll be explaining. I'll come to the story of Pygmalion. Come to the story of Irudhi Sutru. He is a boxer. The character Prabhu, the protagonist Prabhu, is a boxer, one who falls victim to the politics of the boxing association, and he loses his opportunity to participate in the Olympics, and he gets dejected. And after some time, he becomes the boxing coach in National Women's Boxing Academy. But due to his strict way of training, and he is unconventional, he challenges the methods of training, boxing and all, and people won't be accepting those things. They are not ready to accept, and he has a rival there in that place by name Dev, one who charges him for sexual harassment and all. So he was forcefully transferred to Chennai to train a set of girls in slum area. There he identifies the heroine Madhi. Actually, he goes to train her sister Lakshmi, who is called Laksh, one who is trained under a coach in Chennai itself, and he identifies the talent of Madhi. And when he sees her boxing talent, actually she is not interested in boxing. Once she thrashes the judges, one who gave a wrong verdict to her sister's tournament. So he gets interested to train Madhi at that time. So he approaches her, and he just gives money. There is a comparison between this Pygmalion and this Irudhi Sutru. There Professor Higgins is giving money to Eliza's father for training her. Here he offers money daily. Every day he gives 500 rupees to Eliza to come for training. So later the story develops in that manner. At first Eliza doesn't show interest in boxing, and she behaves in an impolite manner with the coach. When she understands the genuineness of the coach who sells his bike in order to buy some equipment for Madhi, she understands his pain and all, and she starts practicing in a proper manner. In between, the story continues with lot of problems between these two, and misunderstandings come, at last, the final tournament, she also gets success. Both the mentors are able to make their mentees in a successful manner. That is the story in nutshell. Let me go to the next slide. So Shah's heroes, generally, they possess distinct characteristics that set them apart from conventional protagonists. They are complex characters. They challenge societal norms and conventions. They are different from others. They're all intellects, and they have strong moral conviction, and they show independence and individualism. They have they have their own ideologies, and they have optimism. In both this play as well as in the movie, we can see their optimism and perseverance till the end of the story. Here I have mentioned about Shah's heroes. Next slides. So heroes of Sudha Kongra, they also have determination and perseverance. They face some societal, personal or professional challenges in their life, and they also have their flaws, and they have a commitment for a cause, and at last they show some transformation and growth. Surarai Potru is another movie, everybody has known about it. Let us move to the next slide. I'm just giving the points about Professor Higgins here particularly. He's a phonetic expert, and he's an intellect and passion. He has passion towards language experiment. He's obsessed with, instead of saying passion, we can mention the term, he is obsessed with language. And he is an arrogant, and he is mannerless. He never shows manners to anyone. And he has that superiority complex. And he doesn't have any emotional attachment towards anybody. And but he is dependent on Mrs. Pierce, his housemaid, as well as, so that he lives separately from his mother. Mrs. Higgins is living separately. She doesn't accept his way of behavior and all, so that he lives separately. And later he becomes dependent on Eliza too, one who runs on his errands and all during the training period. And transformation here, when it comes to Higgins' transformation, he doesn't show it outwardly, but we may be able to understand from the point when he sees Eliza's transformation, he gets surprised, and he has some preconceived notion about the lower class people, and it gets changed in his mind on seeing Eliza's transformation and her development. So there his transformation comes, but he never shows it outwardly. This is the character of Professor Higgins. So next. I'm telling about Prabhu Selvaraj, the character protagonist in the movie. He is a boxer and coach. Again, we can compare the two characters. He is also passionate and determined towards his profession. He is a non-conformist, and again he goes against the conventional methods. And the same thing, emotional detachment. He never has any emotional attachment towards anyone because of his bitter past. He has experienced so many things. As I explained already, he was involved in some politics, and he had some failures. So he has bitter past, and that's why he never shows any emotional concern or attachment to anyone. And he is always rude and arrogant. When it comes to training, he is very particular. He is very rough and tough. And the last thing is he is resilient and perseverance. He shows perseverance until the climax. He works hard, and he hopes and strives to make Madhi succeed in the boxing match. He even goes to the extent of resigning his profession when it comes as a condition because of the politics. I told about the character Dev. He makes him resign his position, and at last he says okay for that in order to make the character Madhi get success in the boxing tournament. That is all about Prabhu Selvaraj. As the next. So common characteristics between these two, Professor Higgins and Prabhu, both are middle-aged men, and Higgins is a bachelor. Prabhu, he lives alone. His wife elopes with someone in the beginning of the story, so he also lives as a bachelor. Both have passion towards their profession. They have pride about their caliber, their skill. They have the superiority complex. They play the role of trainers and strict about their training. They are rude and arrogant, as I mentioned already. They are emotionally detached. All these points are discussed already. And they are ready to pay money for their training their mentees. Excuse me, sir. We can move to the next. Then common characteristics between Eliza Doolittle and Madhi. These two girls, both the character in the play as well as the character in the movie, they are young and unmarried girls. They belong to lower class. And Eliza, a florist, speaks Cockney language, and Madhi is a fish seller, speaks slum language. Both have lack of education and drunkard fathers. This is very particular. Eliza's father is Alfred Doolittle, and Madhi's father is Samikannu. They are drunkards, and they don't have any concern towards their daughters. When the money is given to the daughters, they utilize and they exploit that. And these two characters dislike their mentors at first. They won't have any affection towards the mentors, and they both of them act without manners, and but they are determined to achieve their goals in their life, and they race for their self-respect. All the time, Elisa is very particular that Higgins has to show her respect, and when she is denied of that, she gets angry. And here, when it comes to Madhi, she was arrested for some theft or something, because the person Dev approaches her with some indecent proposal. At that time, she raises for her dignity. So both have the common characteristics here. Next. So I am giving here the relationship between both Higgins and Eliza. Higgins is never courteous to Eliza, and he lacks attachment and considers herself as an equipment only here. And when she fails in the test, he gets angry, and at last he gets impressed and on seeing her development in the garden party and all. I can't explain all those points. Again, it's a repetition, I think. And he is amazed at her independence and confidence. There only I told you that he showed his transformation. And then the last thing, when Eliza leaves his house without informing him, she gets angry and she leaves his house. At that time, he searches for her, and he goes to the extent of making call to the police to trace her out. And when he finds Eliza at her mother's place, he calls her to his home. He gets angry that he has the kind of an attachment, but he doesn't show it outwardly. But he wants her to be at home. But there is no tint of love between these two. But this character Higgins, when Eliza is not with him, he feels a kind of a void, or he finds a kind of a hollow. He wants Eliza to live with him, and at one point of time he thinks, why can't we three, Colonel Pickering, Eliza and myself, live as bachelors? So there is no point of love in between these two characters. That I have to make it correct. Next slide. And Eliza to Higgins, she dislikes Higgins for his rude behavior, and next thing is she expects respect and dignity, that I have already told you. And always she proves her, she withstands all the troubles and problems, and at last she proves her independence by stating that she would join with Higgins' rival phonetician. Later she states him, since you haven't taught me even as a human being, I won't stay with you, I'll be joining hands with your rival phonetician. So on seeing this, he gets amazed. And in My Fair Lady, this is a movie. Later it came as a musical, and so many companies, they produce a movie in different manners. In that, there is a point that Eliza develops a feeling for Higgins, but it is shown in an ambiguous manner. It's not shown clearly. The next slide. So this is the thing just I would like to show. When Higgins ill-treated her, she throws slippers at him in order to get respect from him. She gets kind of emotional. She becomes emotional, and she just throws her slippers at him. And next. Prabhu and Madhi's relationship. Prabhu only selects Madhi as his students on seeing her dexterity in boxing, gives money to bring her for training, focuses on making her excel. But when Madhi fails intentionally, at first she fails intentionally, she doesn't have interest. At the time he behaves rudely. The next time, due to her injury, she fails, but Prabhu doesn't understand. Again, he thinks that she failed intentionally. He sends her out of the boxing training camp, and goes to the extent of resigning his position. I explained already. And he pays 1 lakh rupees to bail her out when she was charged for some theft or something. He goes and he takes her, gives money for bailing her out. That much he is attached towards his mentee. The next slide. Here I am talking about Madhi's attitude towards Prabhu. At the initial stage, she has dislike towards Prabhu and annoys him by her actions. The way she speaks all the time, he makes him get irritated. At first, she doesn't show interest in boxing, and also speaks with him without any manners. Later, when she comes to know that he is genuine and he tries hard to make her succeed in a boxing tournament, she gets a high regard on him, and she works hard, and she also proceeds further to get success in her tournament. this is all about Madhi, the way she behaves when he gives money. She doesn't bother and she just enjoys. She thinks that she can enjoy every day by getting money from him, and she's not serious about boxing training at the beginning stage. This part I would like to mention, and then I'll go for my conclusion. Do I have 1 more minute time, ma'am? Shall I continue? From here, I'm not able to see. Colonel Pickering, he's... Without mic, I can manage. No, ma'am. It's recording. From there, it's difficult for me. So here I am making a comparison between two characters in the play as well as in the movie. There is one character by name Colonel Pickering. He is a retired British officer and phonetic expert. He shows concern and empathy for Eliza. All the time he gives respect to Eliza, and always he treats her with respect and kindness, not like Higgins. And he acts as a mediator between Eliza and Higgins. And he encourages and supports Eliza throughout the play. He is the one who supports her. So Eliza also has some regard on Colonel Pickering. He belongs to his Higgins profession. The same thing, Panch Pandian, this character was played by Nasser, and he is a local boxing coach. Like Madhavan, he is also a boxing coach. He also belongs to the same profession, and he trains Madhi's sister at first. He shows concern on Madhi. All the time he is caring about Madhi. He is kind towards Madhi and raises voice for her when Prabhu behaves harsh with her. Whenever Prabhu behaves in a harsh manner to Madhi, he is the person to raise voice for that. And when he realizes the genuineness of Prabhu, he understands that he paid 1 lakh rupees for bailing out Madhi. He realizes that actually he is making something good for Madhi. He praises him and feels happy for Madhi. He just makes use of the dialogue. First time when he misunderstands Prabhu, he says, "Ni ketta manishaya." In Tamil, he says, it's a Tamil movie. And then when he understands that Prabhu has spent money to make her succeed in the tournament, he says, "Ni nalla manishaya." Again, he changes his verdict. That's it. So I am comparing these two characters here. Both are middle-aged people. Next. I have come to the concluding part. So both Professor Higgins and Prabhu take it as their mission to train their students and make them successful in their own fields. Both realize the potential of their students and feel proud at the end. At last, they feel proud. Professor Higgins feels happy about his experiment. Later, realizes a void, a hollow without Eliza, though he doesn't show her any emotion at that time even. Gets surprised at Eliza's transformation and confidence. He feels very happy about it. Prabhu tries to help Madhi till the end of the tournament, though he resigns his position. He stands with her and he gives her some guidance of how to do boxing in the tournament itself. He talks about some Senghis Khan or some technique he just mentions to her. When Madhi wins, she runs and hugs him. This is the climax of the movie, and this is the important point in the movie. And the movie ends with the phrase, "My Muhammad Ali." So both the heroes and heroines are successful in the play as well as in the movie. Both the heroes as well as the heroines, they show their success in the play and the movie. This is what I have compared. Thank you.
Yeah, the questions maybe from the floor, if you have any questions. Okay, actually I have some questions. A comparative analysis on George Bernard Shaw, Pygmalion and the Tamil movie Irudhi Chutru. Actually, when I saw the topic, it's a very interesting topic for me because I think you watch the film or a drama or I want to know that this Pygmalion, in which way that you watched, because there is lot of versions were there.
I read the play.
Oh.
I haven't compared the My Fair Lady part.
Okay.
I've taken the play which I read during my UG as well as my PG. I
Okay.
took that and I compared along with this movie.
So that you read the play and apply with that movie.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Actually, this particular Pygmalion were there in the movie format and also in the drama format which is available there. Even it is translated in Tamil also. It were there broadcast by the BBC Tamil Osai, which were translated by Sankar Sankarana. So very interesting play. And in this research, you mentioned about that the lady Elisha speaking about one particular language.
Yes, sir.
Could you please tell me that what is the reason that you add that insist that again and again about that language, and is it linked with your study?
this is Professor Higgins is a phonetic expert.
Okay.
He is, I told you, we can't say he's passionate about, he's obsessed with the way people use the language.
Okay.
He is,
what is that language?
Cockney accent that is used by the Londoners of one particular region.
It's on kind of language, English language accent. Okay.
She uses that particular accent.
Okay.
How we have here so many dialects.
Okay.
In Tamil Nadu, people speak different languages. Chennai, we have different slangs or accent we mentioned. That particular thing, he is very particular about the way people speak. That's why I focused on the language part.
Okay, actually, it's a very interesting detailing thing that you were tell about this research. In that one, I came to know that Mr. Daniel Welch were published one book on this particular content, the comparative analysis. That is theories of comparative analysis. In this one, he mentioned about that differential qualitative analysis. That is DQ analysis. I don't think so that you read that one, but you apply that one some way. So there is no theories in this particular paper.
No, I haven't applied any theory, but I did a comparative analysis.
Yeah.
And I went for any articles or journals. I couldn't find the comparison.
Actually, DQ analysis is very interesting theory. You may apply that one, means it is very apt to that one. That is the reason.
I'll improvise my papers.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Good.
And I found there is no comparison between the play and the movie.
Okay.
When the research, when I went through.
Uh-huh. Okay. That's it.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I'll follow up this. The theory I'll apply in the paper. Thank you, sir.
Now I call upon Ms. Suganya from Research Scholar, Department of Journalism and Communication, University of Madras.
Good afternoon. I am Suganya from Department of Journalism and Communication, University of Madras. My topic is on television advertising on homemakers' buying behavior patterns. Just before I start, we'll have a small definition of advertising. Advertising is, according to American Marketing Association, advertising is any paid form of non-personal presentation of ideas, goods, and services by an identified sponsor. The continuous exposure of advertisements through different forms of media have led to information overload, confusion in the substantiation of the consumption pattern of the products and services. The television advertising grew swiftly in time and achieved its existing position as the largest advertising media in terms of advertising revenues. Next slide, please. Homemakers. Since I have taken homemakers, I just want to give the definition. According to the encyclopedia, people who take care of households for themselves and for the other people who live with them are called homemakers. They are responsible for managing the resources of their households. Homemakers may also perform the general housekeeping chores and personal services, or they may assign them to other members of the household. Sometimes they employ people outside the household to do these tasks. Every household is unique, and the duties of each homemaker vary according to the ages, habits, needs, and incomes of the people in the household. This is another version of the definition. The term homemaker is given to a person, especially women, who takes care of all the members in the family selflessly, from preparing food, nursing, to nurturing, from children to elderly people, looking after the overall maintenance of house, from groceries to monthly budgeting, managing the day-to-day course. Next slide. Next slide. Topic is on television and advertisements. Television reaches almost every household, and it reaches more people than any other medium. The television advertisements are very exclusive and can connect the consumers emotionally. They can travel from the advertisement world to the real world. When compared to other advertising mediums, television is known to be the most effective option to convince people to purchase products and services. Most of the products advertised has a significant impression on homemakers, as they are the only one of the main pillars in the family structure. They can connect themselves emotionally. Advertisements, using advertisements, women are able to connect. Nowadays, advertisements are taken emotionally, different appeals are used, and emotional appeal is more used. Then my objectives of the study is to examine the influence of television advertisements on purchase behavior of homemakers and to study the recall value of television commercials among homemakers. The method I used is a quantitative research approach and survey method. I used the questionnaire as a tool to collect my data. My target the people are women homemakers of age group 25 to 45 years of age. The respondents were selected with a view to ensure the representation of total population. I have taken a sample of 200 in Chennai alone. Theoretical framework. I have selected IDA model for this. This model is selected because we can apply the concept of each elements like attention, interest, desire at different stages that the homemakers undergo while watching the television advertisements and getting into action by buying the product. Next. Data analysis and interpretation. Duration of television. From the survey, duration of television watching per day. It is said that 58% of the respondents watch television for a duration of 1 to 3 hours per day. Next is the level of interest in watching television commercial. 31% of the respondents felt the interest level in watching television commercial to be neutral, and only 4% of them said that they are highly interested in watching television ads. Next slide. The purchase of products based on television commercials alone. About 56% of the respondents have said that their purchase of some products is based on television commercial alone. 56% have said some products are mostly on their commercials. Television commercial gives, next slide, gives all the required product information to them. For homemakers, most of the information they collect is through television ads, and it is 58% of them have said that they get these information. And information like product awareness, offer awareness, quality awareness, product information, price awareness, decision making are all based on these television commercials, and only few of them felt that they are television commercial not at all useful. Television commercial more informative and attention grabbing. It is said that 67% of the respondents have said they find television commercial to be more informative and attention grabbing, and also said that 65 respondents have given visual effects shown in the television ads to be the reason for informative and attention grabbing concept. Then the next slide. Television commercials influence in the decision to buy the products. About 61% of the respondents have said that television commercial to be the most influential in the decision making to buy the products, and 22% of the respondents have said that they are not influenced by the television commercial in decision making while buying the product. Next slide. Recall value. Recall value of offers, schemes, and product features. It is found that around 70% of the respondents could recall the television commercial that highlighted the offer, scheme, product features while buying a product. Television commercial recall value, like 109 respondents said that they could recall television commercial that highlighted product features, especially product features. 99 respondents have said about the offers, and 53 respondents have said about the schemes. Conclusion. From this study, the homemakers agreed that advertising on television is generally beneficial to buy a product. Television commercial help them to know about the new products released in the market. It gives them a good exposure on the product information, offer awareness, quality awareness, and price awareness. Women homemakers to have a general idea about the product in advance, and this helps them in decision making while buying the products, especially the television ads. Most of the respondents reveal that it is the colorful visual effect which made commercials to be informative and attention grabbing. The study also reveals the interest of the homemakers' buying behavior pattern to be mainly based on fast-moving consumer goods, and home appliance were based on the television commercial. They buy the products like fast-moving consumer goods, and home appliances are based on television ads. A majority of the respondents were able to recall the commercial value. So commercials while buying the products which highlighted the offers, schemes, and products. Thus, television advertising is beneficial to every homemakers. Thank you.
Congratulations, Suganya. Actually, this is a very interesting study. The fourth point here, that the most respondents revealed that it is colorful visual effects which made television commercial to be more informative and attention. No.
Yes.
In this one, that you were not give any datas were there, because I want to know that ask that question to you.
Okay.
But in the conclusion you mentioned this one.
Yes.
But in the earlier slides which is there, that the datas, no,
Okay.
in that one it is not there. It's a very important thing, no.
Yes.
That is the reason
Yes.
that I'm asking that. Yes. And actually, what is the reason that you are focusing only on urban women 25 to, this is only for the urban women, no, homemakers, no?
Like I just took Chennai city.
Okay.
Not it's like urban woman or rural woman.
Okay.
I just took
Focused on the Chennai city. Okay. What is the reason that, is there any because is it, for example, if you take the Chennai city itself, there is different
groups are there.
So
like, upper middle class, lower middle class.
Okay, in which way that you distribute the questionnaire? That any
like zone wise, like north zone,
okay.
central zone, south zone. I separated
So, okay.
sample of 200 only I have taken.
Yeah, okay.
Minimum sample, but I divided the sample into zone wise,
okay.
and I collected most of the data by going to the supermarkets.
Okay.
And, malls and
so you distribute the questionnaire in the hard
yes.
copy manner,
yes.
not in the digital format.
On the spot, and I collected.
Okay. And did you use any softwares to decode these things, the data?
No, I used just Excel
sheet.
Excel sheet, and just given the for percentage formats.
Okay. Is it easy for you to apply that one, because you see that there is a lot of data where there,
no? Minimum sample I have taken, I have just given in percentage.
Okay. Actually, one more thing I want to know, that you, in the first slide you mentioned about the homemakers. For the definition you used that encyclopedia, something like that you told, no?
Yes.
Better you have to give the detailed thing, that the encyclopedia, there is a lot of encyclopedia were there, no?
Encyclopedia websites.
In the detailed manner you have to mention, because this is a definition. It must be give the detailed thing, that where, which encyclopedia, like that. The two were that very important thing. The homemaker's word is also, it's a very important,
yes.
that it's you have to give some etymology meaning for that, like that.
Yes.
Otherwise it's okay. That's a very interesting topic. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now I call upon Ms. Vishwalakshmi, a student from Stella Maris College.
Good afternoon, one and all present here. Myself Vishwalakshmi AS, and I am currently doing my final year MA Public Relations from Stella Maris College, and I am authoring this paper with my head of the department, Dr. Srinidhi. And my topic is an examination of political PR strategies portrayed in Malayalam films. And I have done a content analysis on Malayalam films from 2014 to 2023. Next slide, ma'am. So before getting into the actual points, I have to just mention what's the relationship between political public relations and politics here. So what's mean by public relations? Public relations is basically how we create and establish a mutually beneficial relationship between an organization or an authority or a brand and its public, how we maintain that positive image, and how we rectify crisis and reputation management, brand communication, and all. And for in case of politics, there are a lot of political crises, issues, and politicians' image building, and everything we can done through public relations. And talking about cinema, before exploring the contemporary landscape, it's crucial to acknowledge the bedrock upon which this evolving narrating stands. Malayalam cinema, from its inception, are very particular about showing politics in its inside cinemas, like from Lal Salam, Chemmin, and most recently Janagana Mana. And there will be no explicit meanings, but there are some implicit meanings by where like directors or filmmakers support their particular political ideas through promotes their particular ideas through films. So that's why I chose this topic. And like, cinema is a powerful tool for political communication and public relations, for shaping public discourse and influencing people's behaviors, beliefs, and how they act accordingly, or how they grow their political interests. And through these films, many young generations, the millennials and Gen Zs also like they are like formulating some kind of political interest. If they are watching some in case of Malayalam films, if they are showing some kind of communist movies, like young generation, by seeing all these like struggles and fights and all of that, they are like mostly getting attracted towards the films. That's why I am like pointing out how political PR portrayals are like shown in Malayalam films. Next slide, ma'am. And for theoretical background, I have chosen agenda setting theory, persuasion in public relations theory, and Asher theory. Next slide. And agenda setting theory, proposed by McCombs and Donald Shaw in 1972, it majorly says that like there is a hidden agenda. Media is setting that agenda, and they gave importance for what they want to talk to the public or the audience. So that's why agenda setting theory is chosen here. Like the filmmakers have a hidden agenda, and they have to put that agenda in the audience mind. That's why agenda setting theory is chosen here. It helps to understand how media influences political campaigns, public policy, and social movements, and how it raises awareness of potential media bias and manipulation, and how it influences the people. And in this context of this study, filmmakers are seen as a form of media with the power to influence audience by setting political agendas. And this theory helps to analyze how filmmakers portray political PR tactics within their movies. Next slide. So persuasion in public relations theory, persuasion only means to influence people without forcing them, or there is no coercion or something like that. And James E. Grenick in this theory suggests that two-way communication is crucial for effective public relations, and persuasion is a key tool, not just to manipulate, but just to influence someone's belief, attitudes, and behaviors without pressure. And public relations professionals and communicators utilize this theory to create effective strategies and messages. And this helps examining how filmmakers use PR tactics to shape viewers' political perspectives. And this theory moves beyond simplistic notions of persuasion as manipulation, but how it influences the audience perceptions. Next. Ma'am, next slide. Aucher theory emerged from French film criticism in 1950s. In Aucher theory, Aucher means author. Author means like in the context of this film, like filmmaker is the author here. He is the one who decides what to showcase in his film. So this theory analyzes film as expressions of directors' individual viewpoints, not just products of studios of genre. And in this study, this theory helps in understanding how directors Santosh Vishwanath and Prithviraj Sukumaran and Arun Gopi portray political PR strategies in their films through their personal lenses. Next slide. And here I have used qualitative research, and I have chosen. I have done content analysis of films 1, 2021, from directed by Santosh Vishwanath, and Lucifer 2019 by Prithviraj Sukumaran, and Lamalila 2017 by Arun Gopi. And each scene depicting political communication examined, focusing on how it framed the political ideas and the political communication, and how the storytelling is done, and the character representation and the visual elements. Next slide, ma'am. So So getting into the point, the film is directed by Santosh Vishwanath, released in 2021. It's a political thriller exposing corruption in politics, and this film explores political intrigue and corporate influence in Kerala government. It's mostly like it's showcasing some major politicians and political ideology, but it's implicit inside the movie. But the Keralites can understand what's the political ideologies they are putting forward, but illiterates can understand, or like uneducated people can understand. They just follow the film. They the major character is like is the CM of India, Kerala, and the protagonist is acted by Mammootty. He have a large fan base in all over India. He's a famous actor too. So like there's a lot of fan base in Kerala for him. So if people are illiterate, they will like just follow what he's doing and they will get attracted as always. And this film criticizes power structure, power dynamics, and corruption and manipulation of public opinion. And the antagonists shown are corrupt and self-serving, manipulating the audience and media and the public opinion too. And it is evoking anger and frustration towards the system, highlighting poverty and environmental issues. And idealistic journalists and activists symbolize resistance and the possibility of holding power. Like in this film, it showcases some journalists questioning the government, and they are facing a lot of issues also. And in this film, dark cinematography and fast-paced editing is shown, and the director's left ideologies are visible in some places, but not in every scenes and political communication. And the film highlights the harmful impact of political PR on public perception and discourse, and it's leaving a lasting impression, prompting viewers to question and demand better from their representatives. As agenda setting theory suggests, the agenda of director to give importance to his political interest can be seen in this film in some places. Next slide, ma'am. Lucifer, acted by Mohanlal, and it's directed by Prithviraj Sukumaran, released in 2019. It also explores power dynamics, ambition, and manipulation. The center character, acted by Mohanlal, is Stephen Nedumballi. He's a famous politician in Kerala, and he have influence on public perception and its ethical tighter works, and he's a strategist who just give ideas to his followers in a manipulative way. And this film sparked conversations about PR in Indian politics and resonating with the audiences and prompting discussions about media's influence. And if media is saying something, or media is saying something false about a politician, the entire image is going there. It's showcasing in this film. And strategic communication as a potent weapon to sway voters, influence media narratives, and even rewrite history. And it raises concern about PR's potential for manipulation and destroying transparency and accountability. Next slide. And the protagonist, Stephen's enigmatic persona, fuels discussion about power, manipulation, and PR's role in shaping political insights. And the film awards political ideology, presenting a morally ambiguous portrayal of PR, highlighting its effectiveness while questioning its potential for harm. And also the film delves into political intrigue, offering a thought-provoking exploration of power. And in this film, PR is showcased as a powerful tool of this protagonist to put his ideas into the minds of the people. And it also touches on political nepotism, how PR teams advise leaders on. There's a scene in this film where when the major politicians in this film dies, his son is just prepared and he's make-upped, and the PR team gave him a dress which his father used to wear, and the makeup like his father and everything. And there is a relevant PR team showcased in this film also. So it's very important. This is one of the major films where political PR is showcased. Next. And Damalila, released in 2021, directed by Arun Gobi, intentionally sheds lights on social injustice in politics through its narrative structure. There are a lot of pitfalls and corruptions and everything in politics in this showcase in this film. So by focusing on relatable characters from Kerala politics who is fighting for basic rights, the film fosters empathy and solidarity. I'm not directly accusing or pointing out the names of major politicians because that's not fair for this research, that's why. And so I am just touching upon the terms like Kerala politicians and all. And protagonists here embody marginalized communities, while antagonists representing opposite forces. And contrasting visuals emphasizing in this film stark disparities between privileged and unprivileged groups. Next slide. Director Arun Gopi, known for his progress views, he will be in most of his films. He is using like his progressive development ideas to put in the audience, and this film effectiveness lies in its ability to connect with the audience on an emotional level. It's emotionally more appealing. This film is showcasing the people's mind, their sadness, their emotions, their issues, unprivileged people's issues, and all. And through Ramalila, the director utilizes filmmaking for social commentary and encouraging viewers to question the status quo and potentially advocate for a change. Next. Through this research, what I found is the portrayal of political PR in films varies greatly and reflecting complex realities. Like the film One by Santosh Vishwanath criticized the film is a political PR as a tool for manipulation by correct politicians, eroding trust and accountability. And in Lucifer, it explores ethical ambiguities of political PR through antagonists, blurring the truth of desired outcomes, and how political communication used to change the perceptions of people is shown in Lucifer. And Ramalila uses political PR for social commentary and exposing inequalities and advocating change. And these films showcases various PR tactics from manipulating to ethical issues for social changes. And emotional narratives are emotional narratives from the relative characters from Kerala politics is showcased. So it can effectively convey messages through these PR tactics. Next. So, for the concluding part, filmmakers like in One, Lucifer, and Ramalila offers unique artistic and ideological viewpoints. They are using for influencing people, changing the attitudes, behaviors, beliefs, and everything through these films. And political communication fosters here more informed and engaged citizens. And there's a scope of this study for upcoming futures. Like we can take many films from this time period, or we can just go back to the old historical films, and just compare the films and how the evolution of political PR is political PR came, and all of that can be like studied. And for PR tactics influence what issues are considered important, reflecting the agenda setting theory and individual filmmakers' visions, and all are put in films. So Osher theory is also emphasizing on this research, and how analyzing how films use PR to influence viewers. The research aligns persuasion in public relations theories also. So more nuanced understanding of this complex relationship between films, politics, and public perception can be also a major point of this research. That's it. Thank you for having me here. Thank you.
Could you please go to the title?
Yeah.
Okay, so here you mentioned about the content analysis on Malayalam films from 2014 to 2023. But in the research paper, you give only 3 films, which were taken from 17, 19, and 21.
Yeah.
What is the reason that you give that 2014 to 23?
This research is for my final year, research project.
I know that one. That is the reason that, okay, you have to edit that. When you present this kind of thing, you have to edit the thing, okay? Because you give only about the 3 films focusing on particular films. So here it will confuse. I just now asked the faculty also how much this is the 10-year films were there, how the research will be there, like that I discuss. So that is the very important thing. And also in the theory perspective, you give 3 interesting theories. You're talking about the content analysis, no? It's actually content of that film were there, no? If it is there, that you may go with the CDA also, that is critical discourse analysis. So it also gives some kind of interesting analysis were there in that method. Okay, that is the thing. Yeah. Any questions?
What parameters do you use for analysis?
Framing, character representation, storytelling, etc. How these characters are represented, how political communication is framed inside these films. What? Yeah. Can you go to the reference slide? Correlate the theories and the content analysis. I just watched the movies and I identified there are some kind of influence of these filmmakers in these films. They are putting their political ideology. So agenda setting theory is like there is a hidden agenda made by the media or the filmmaker there. So I thought of taking agenda setting and Asher theory. Director is the author of these films. So his idea is just showcased in this film and persuasion in the sense the films can influence people through these films. The directors or the filmmakers can influence the film. That's why I chose this thing.
Okay, actually, in the reference also, I didn't see the very important books which is related to the film.
Yeah.
That too, particularly speaking about the politics.
Yeah.
Okay, there is MSS Pandian one book is there, and another one is that his name is Theodore Bhaskaran, The Serpent of Eye. So these are all the very important books which is talking about the politics in the film. So you may give that one also there in the next time. Okay.
I have hundreds, sir. Like I can't put the entire thing.
No, I'm asking that. Did you
And-
refer these two books with
Yeah.
there? MSS
I
Pandian.
have all these books. Sir.
Okay, that's good.
Thank you.
Participants are requested to complete their presentation within the stipulated time of 5 to 7 minutes. So now I call upon Dr. M. Vagisan, Assistant Professor from the Vellore Institute of Technology, Vellore.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I know it's almost lunchtime, so I'll make it very crisp so that it don't be boring for you as well. So every research has a starting point. Say there won't be any research if we don't have any question in it. Okay. So this research started in a tea shop where myself and one more faculty is discussing about how AI is being used. Okay. So a faculty is quoting that it's not being used in a set of media students. So they quote it like media students don't use it. Okay. So this is where my research started. For this particular research, I've started here. So next slide. So I'll just define you with very short points of it. So first one is artificial intelligence. So I just take artificial intelligence in a book of 1990, which is 30 years before. So the author quotes in the first page stating that artificial intelligence, it's look like a machine that does a human works. Okay. So what happens if a human can be done in the same way? So vice versa can be happen. So he quote in a way stating that human can be a machine can be human aspect, which is being published 30 years before, 1990. So I give a basic introduction about AI instead. So AI works with the human-like cognitive skills. So we code, it's trying to understand how we perceive things, how we evaluate things, and then it tries to implement in the same way that how we proceed, obviously. So it comes up with 3 points in it. One is machine learning. The second one is natural language processing. The third one is neural networks. That is how, as of now, the AI has been working. So I've given the reference for all the points that I have quoted right here. So when it comes to AI and further things, next slide. So it's tried to communicate with us, and then it tries to implement, or say it tries to add or say simplify our work that is being carried, obviously. So that is why we try to use, or say majority of people try to use their AI, obviously. So next slide, ma'am. So Batten in the year 2017 defines artificial into 4 categories. One is starting with the machine learning. The another one is narrow artificial intelligence. The third one is a general artificial intelligence, and the fourth one is a super artificial intelligence. We just have a 4 category as of now. So next slide. So machine learning is the first starting point where we are right now. Not right now, obviously. So where we train to some kind of an images in it, and then it will replica with the content that is being produced. So it will replica what we trained for the particular segment. So narrow artificial intelligence is a time where we are right now. So whatever the thing that we are using, including of ChatGPT or maybe a Alexa that we are using it in mobile or something else. So all these things comes under with the ANI, that is narrow artificial intelligence. We are still to move to general artificial intelligence. We are trying to move to the next stage as of now. So which applies as a human behavior. So how we try to understand something the same way it tries to understand the concepts of it. Even the Google launched Gemini recent one, which comes under with a narrow artificial intelligence. It's still trying to figure out how to work with the general artificial intelligence. The last one, as of we can able to illuminate, is super intelligence, which surplus our intelligence, obviously. Say, or else it will try to equate or say go above beyond our intelligence perspective, obviously. So next slide now. So in the year 2023, there is one research article that has been published in a newspaper. The author of it is Chajur Bedi, where he quote that AI is being started to be increased quite largely than expected. This is from India. So he quoted that it's been quite largely started to implemented, and people started using it in for their regular life also as well. So in the year 2020, also defined that we have a rapid increase as well. We try to integrate the AI elements into our day-to-day life as well. So that is what he quoted. Next one. There is an increase in different kinds of fields. So it doesn't limit with any of this one particular field. It's incorporated in all the fields that we can able to imagine. It start from healthcare or say manufacturing or even say entertainment as well. Okay. And then in the year 2019, Amento implemented or said that in his research, findings say that it's been even implemented in the creative aspects as well. So that is where we come to an media segments, obviously. Next slide. So when it comes to understanding of these substances, we need to come up with the one important aspects of it that we usually quote with in a student's perspective. It says media literacy. So we quote quite a lot about media literacy. Same way we have something called as AI literacy as well. So where we train those machines, obviously. So it tries to understand the perspective from ourselves. Okay? So that is what we quoted as critically communicate or cooperate with the things that we quote, obviously. So one important aspect that we need to understand for AI literacy is digital literacy, obviously. So there should be a prerequisite of digital literacy in the sense people should know how to use the smart devices in their either mobile phone or say any kinds of computer gadgets. So that is one of the important aspects of it. And main aim of this research is about whether or how media students trying to use any of the AI tools or any of the AI gadgets, obviously. The next one. And then how they use it and say how they perceive their benefits under it. So these are things that is been going to be discussed in this particular research. So which I took one district, obviously, which can be extended further in further researches as well. Next slide. So this particular research has been carried in the districts of Vellore along with 147 students during the month of January. So that is last month, obviously. Next slide. So major findings are, I'll just define you with a few major findings here. So among it, 55.7% are male and 44.3% are female among the 147 students. And then the frequency of usage is 73% of percentage of students are use their AI tools. Only media students I'm quoting, using it for the last week, and nearly above 90% of students have used in the last month period, obviously. Next slide. So how they've used these AI tools has been given with a 5-point scale, which is from strongly disagree to agree, strongly agree, obviously. So the mean value of it is being given right here. So these mean value defines that if it is crosses 3 and above, they are trying to agree to the point that is being quoted right over there. So we can able to find that AI usage has been, they find it's kind of an easier. They find it's kind of an useful, obviously, for their any kinds of an assignments or whatever they want to do. So it's kind of an easy for them. So they quote with a 4.4 as an value of it. Next one. So one important aspect of it is understanding about the one important point here, which is anthropomorphic. So which defines that I think majority of us might watched Iron Man movies where there is a character called as a Javi. There is no character called as a Javi, but the hero or say protagonist trying to create a digital character of it. So you'll be very attached to it. The same way that we attached with say it might be mobile phones or it might be a bike. we give the name for it and then we'll be very attached with it. The same kinds of an attachment can be found over the AI technologies that they are using it, obviously. So they found to use it quite longer even with the mobile smart devices as well. Even I think ChatGPT has have a mobile application. They started to use their these applications in their mobile as well. And then we have AI credibility, whether they trust the AI information that being produced. I want to check it. So I took a scale on AI credibility of it. So among it, there is a 4.3 mean value, which state that they believe what is being given as a content, obviously. So whatever the content that is being given, they believe it's a true and it's 100% correct. So this is one of the important things that we need to note. The next one. And then, as I beginning with literacy, we have 4 points in the literacy scale. The first one is the awareness scale, whether they are aware about the AI tools or different kinds of tools that they are using it. So they found that it's been quite aware among themselves, obviously. The next one. And the point that is being marked is reversely quoted, and it's been afterwards, while going for analysis part, it's been reversed, obviously. Sorry. The previous one. Yeah. Okay. We have an evaluation scale and ethics scale. So all these scales has been moved above 3 scale as well. So we can able to find that they think that they have a strong AI literacy scale among themselves. Next. So I just want to understand whether they have a perspective of negative side on AI. So I took negative scales of AI aspects of it. Say I would feel very low when I use some kinds of an AI tool while I am in the society. So these kinds of questions has been asked to the students, but we found that the mean value is less than 3, which they say that they are not being afraid or say negative about any of the AIs. They are using it right now. So next one. So I've segregated into 2 scales, obviously. So one is interaction, another is the social influences. So both these scales have less than 3, so which defines that their attitude towards the usage has been not been in a different way, obviously. The next one. So I just want to understand what are the subjects they might use it. So these are the subjects where we can able to find quite a lot of usages being there. The next one. So to conclude it, students start to use quite a lot of AI tools, obviously. But the thing is, whether the ethics under it, whether all the information that is being provided under it is questionable as of now. So which has to be properly treated. And the evaluation part of it comes to the second stage of it, where we need to understand how we're going to evaluate it as a faculty side. So these are things, major things that we need to come across it. So this is about my research. Thank you.
We will ask the question in the end of the session because 6 more peoples were there. So maybe I will add one suggestion to you that I think there is a weekly called Ananda Vigadan, and that one Anton Prakash were from Silicon Valley writing about a series of article on AI. Last week in that article, she's talking about that same topic what you are presented here. You may go through that one also. And some more interesting books also there. We will in the discussion.
Mr. Shanmuga Nathan, research scholar from the College of Engineering, Anna University.
Hello everyone. My research topic is decoding body image message in Instagram post, a content analysis of positivity, neutrality and beyond. Next slide. Young people these days regularly use social media and platforms, spending a significant amount of time browsing, posting, commenting and engaging with content. This level of involvement can have both positive and negative implications in their social lives, mental health and overall well-being depending on the content they consume. Body image is how we see and feel about our bodies, including our thoughts and emotions about our appearance. Society ideas of beauty often shown in the media affects how we see our body, which can be touch our ankles. Positive body image involves feeling good about one's body, even if the person is not happy with everything it comes from accepting and appreciating themselves. Negative body image involves feeling unhappy with one's body and appearance, often comparing ourselves to others, checking one's body, feeling embarrassed, uncomfortable, and revealing one body different than it really is. Next slide. So traditional media and social media portray thin female and muscular male can make people feel good about their bodies. Vogel et al. Discovered that seeing pictures of thin and attractive women on social media made young women compare themselves more and feel worse about their bodies, which aligns with social comparison theory, a concept explaining how people tend to access themselves by comparing with others. A study done in Australia found that adolescent girls spending an average of 2 hours on social media exposed to thin body, leading to the body image dissatisfactions. Right. Next. So the research gap is Instagram promoting thin bodies lacking of body diversity negatively impact. More studies focus on negative body than positive body image. So my study is more concentrating on positive body images. Next slide. So the aim of the study is to decode body image message in Instagram posts through a content analysis focusing on positivity, not negativity. Next slide. So methodology. The research method, a mixed method approaching of an in-depth exploration of the contents, meanings, themes, and the context surrounding body positivity and neutrality on Instagram. The data collection. For the data collection, I particularly installed Instagram in a new phone new account was created in a phone with the location is turned off. I selected 5 relevant hashtags related to body image, which is body image issues, body positivity, body neutrality, all bodies are beautiful, body positive movement. So from each hashtags, I collected 100 samples. Then the data analysis in 2 ways. One is qualitative thematic analysis and quantitative engagement analysis. Engagement analysis based on likes, comments, etc. Then next slide, please. Yes. This is a Prisma flowchart. How I filtered my samples. So as I said earlier, I collected 500 samples from 100 from each hashtags. Then it is screened under screening. I removed duplicate samples. Then the post exclusion of duplicate samples, I removed the not relevant to the content, and then other language posts, then likes and comments not disclosed. So after that, I come with 43 posts. Next slide. So findings, the analysis found that 81% of the posts focused on content of adults, with 86% targeting female viewers only. 1 post directed at male viewers and 5 posts did not specify any target audiences. Next slide. Informative communication technique is the highly shared information in a general and straightforward way. Positive emotive communication techniques conveys message that evoke good feelings or emotions. Then the testimonial communication techniques involves sharing personal experience to promote an idea. Instructive communication involves giving guidance to teach something. The top 2 of these are combination of these techniques, and the rest are all single techniques used. Right? In that, positive emotive was the highly used communication techniques. Among that, the informative communication techniques received the higher post engagement, which like got around 97% of likes are there, and comments in 37%, and the rest is the followed with the instructive and then testimonial, then the positive emotive appeal. Next slide. Relationship between post engagement and types of posts. So positive body image got 44% of likes and 69% of comments. Body neutrality get 46% likes and 31% comments. Similarly, when the post you engaged with both the body neutrality and positive body image, get the least engagement. Next slide. Relationship between post engagement and aspects of body image. So in that, perceptual and behavioral aspect received the higher engagement. Affective and behavioral aspect received the least engagements. Next slide. So among the positive body image, self-acceptance is the highly used terminologies or thematic in this post. So that received 60% of the content highlighted self-acceptance. You should accept yourself. apart from comparing with others, about comparing with other body types, you should accept whether these kind of contents are involved in 60% of the posts. Those posts received the higher engagement. Specifically, few posts without mentioning any gender or any age group received the higher engagement than posts addressing for particular age group or something. Next. So these are the summary of my major findings. So demographic targeting of content primarily toward adults, indicating a need of inclusion of content aimed at younger generations. We should add younger generation. Then 86% of the content is explicitly designed to appeal to women, either through imaginary or thematic focus. Self-acceptance prominent is discussing on positive body image, with 60% of the sample post emphasizing in theme. Positive, the prevalence of positive emotive appeal in posts suggests that content creators recognize the importance of emotional resonance in promoting body positivity. Positive, emotive, and informative posts gained more significant attention, while testimonial posts observed the least engagement, suggesting a need for stronger emotional appeal or acceptance audience. Next slide. So conclusion, Instagram posts is more powerful and body positivity need more inclusive content, can create more supportive online spaces. Thank you.
Good.
My thesis is about health communication specific to obesity. When I come across with obesity related informations, this is one of the major concerns in the society. And especially body positivity. Now body positivity plays a different role. Like we are not, that is a few posts like you should accept your body as it is, but don't concern about health. Don't talk about health. Don't give suggestion about health, how it affects in obesity in kind of way. I may be not clear, but that's the...
Actually, this is a very interesting topic, but there is a lot of results were there in a different format
yes,
also.
Different formats, there are so many results.
Okay, your respondent, maybe that kind of things were there and the results were come like this, but இதில் வந்து இன்னும் வேறு மாதிரிலாம் இருக்குதுல்ல ரிசல்ட்ஸும் இது இந்த டாப்பிக்கே வேறு மாதிரி எங்களுடைய கன்க்ளூஷன்ஸோ அல்லது ஃபைண்டிங்ஸில் வந்தது எல்லாமே வேறு மாதிரி வேறு ஆட்கள்கிட்ட கேட்கும்போது வந்திருக்கிறதுக்கான வாய்ப்புகள் இருக்குது. இது வந்து ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் நாட் அ கன்க்ளூஷன் ஆர் திஸ் இஸ் நாட் அ இந்த மாதிரியான டாபிக்ஸ்லாம் வெரி டேஞ்சரஸ் திங்ஸ் வேர் தேர், பிகாஸ் யாரை நீங்கள் பார்த்து கேள்வி கேட்குறீங்கன்றத பொறுத்து பதில் வந்து டோட்டலி மாறுறதுக்கான வாய்ப்பு இருக்குது. எந்த ஊரில் கேட்குறீங்க, எத்தனை வயசுக்காரங்கிட்ட கேட்குறீங்க, அர்பனா ரூரலான்னு நிறைய இதுக்குள்ளரெல்லாம் இருக்கிறதுனால இதெல்லாம் வந்து
ஒரு சென்சிட்டிவ் டாபிக்.
Five hashtags you quoted here. Which algorithm have you put any software for?
No, I didn't use any software. I looked for so many posts related to this and find out that.
You find it in the
Instagram itself? No, I didn't.
It's a popular hashtag you done in any SM or SEO?
No, I didn't use that. I found it in Instagram only. These are the popular repeated hashtags used in so many body positivity or body image related posts.
ஆக்சுவலி தெர் இஸ் அ திங் தட் இவங்க வந்து சொல்கிறார் இல்லையா, இப்போ இதுவே வந்து ஒரு கான்ட்ரவர்ஷியலாக தான் இருக்கும். ஏன்னா உங்களுடைய லெவல் ஆஃப் எவ்வளோ ரீச்சு, நீங்கள் எந்த மாதிரியானது பார்க்குறீங்க, அதை பொறுத்து இட் வில் பி டிஃபர். நீங்கள் வந்து எதை கண்டினியூ ஃபாலோ பண்ணியிருக்கீங்க, எது உங்களுக்கு அப்புறம் அந்த அல்காரிதம் உங்களுக்கு எதை காட்டியிருக்கு, இதெல்லாம் நிறையா இருக்கு இல்லையா.
That's why I used a new Instagram account with the internet is turned off. Okay. I mean, location is turned off because I know Instagram works based on our researches, previous searches. That's why I created a new Instagram with previous searches do not affect my results.
இல்லை நீங்கள் ஒரு அக்கௌண்ட்டை க்ரியேட் பண்ணி தானே போயிருப்பீங்க. அதுக்கும் நியூ அக்கௌண்ட்டு நீங்கள் எப்போ நீங்கள் நியூ அக்கௌண்ட் க்ரியேட் பண்ணிங்கனாலும் சப்போர்ட்டுக்கு இன்னொன்று ஏதோ ஒன்று கேட்கும் இல்லையா, அது உங்களுடைய
minimal databases use பண்ணி தான் I created that account. Okay. Minimal databases like just a name, just a age, that's it. Not more than that. I don't have any friends in that account. அந்த மாதிரி friends எதுவுமே இல்லாம அந்த மாதிரி தான் கிரியேட் பண்ணேன்.
ஓகே, எனிஹவ் இவர் சொன்ன மாதிரி இன்னும் நிறைய பாயிண்ட் ஆஃப் வியூவில் இதை பார்க்கலாம். பட் எனிஹவ் இட்ஸ் a very interesting topic. நம்ம இதை பற்றி டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணலாம். We conclude this one and we will go with the...
Now I call upon Ms. Nandini, research scholar from the College of Engineering, Anna University.
Hello all. It's a part of my doctoral research. It deals with the digital immigrant parents and digital native adolescents, a comparison of media diet. Seems very common, right? Very, very common. But I think I don't know whether I have done justice, but I would like to go deeper into this topic before actually, discuss my findings. Media diet, the definition would be sum of information and entertainment media consumed by individuals. There's no particular definition that we can go back who has coined this term and all. It's an internet-based term. Now, digital, my motivation for this study, background. I go with some 5 serious research gaps which has really motivated me to carry this research. The first one, parenting in the digital age. It's very common, parents would, they take care of their children behaviors, thoughts, everything regarding their daily course, everything. But when it comes to their digital behavior and digital culture, we are not very sure of what they should be doing and what they're doing. There is a very big research gap. Some simple questions would be, should my children be allowed Instagram access? Should I monitor them all the time? Or technically, if, how long should I permit them to watch videos online? A lot of questions arise when we think of parenting in this digital age in India. This is one major concern of comparing parents and adolescent digital culture. The second research gap would be digital divide between parents and adolescents. This digital divide term is a comparison between the people who are born before digital technology immersed in the world, and the digital natives are people who are born with the digital technologies around them. The popular author Pansky, he has coined this term digital divide. Now, there are so many articles around the world, popularly from Western world and global North countries, where this digital divide was discussed very long ago compared to our country. Now, here in India, we are recently experiencing this digital divide. This topic's media conception all seems very trivial, very largely discussed. However, research contribution from our countries needed. It's not only about access divide or about the usage divide. It's mostly about emotional and psychological differences we see among parents and adolescents. And will this digital divide end by next decade, in 5 years? I don't think so, even also the research, because India, like countries, developing countries like India, are in a very dilemma. We are facing this digital divide. At the same time, we are also in the phase of discussing AI studies also, which is kind of very difficult. And how are we surviving this every day? A lot of gaps still prevail. And the third research gap would be, as I already said, next slide. Okay. நான் வந்து தமிழுக்கு அப்போ ஷிஃப்ட் பண்ணிடுவா சார். ஐ திங்க் ஐ வுட் பி மச் ஃபாஸ்டர் இன் தமிழ். தேங்க்யூ ஸோ மச் சார். குளோபல் சவுத் ஸ்டடீஸில் வந்து பார்த்தோம், ஸ்டடீஸில் வந்து நிறைய அகாடமிக் கான்ட்ரிபியூஷன் வேணும்னு சொல்கிறோம். ஏன் அப்படின்னு பார்த்தோம்னா, இப்போ நம்ம நிறைய இன்டர்நெட் டேர்ம்ஸ் எல்லாம் யூஸ் பண்ணுறோம்ல, ஃபோம் ஆஃப் ஃபியர் ஆஃப் மிஸ்ஸிங் அவுட், சைபர் கிரைம், சோஷியல் மீடியா இஷ்யூஸ், டிப்ரெஷன், அடிக்ஷன், all these terms all are being very popular from the Western side, actually. I'm not disagreeing with the point that we are rejecting all these points. We are not experiencing, our kids are not experiencing all this. But it's kind of over-exaggerated, as all those studies are from there. The viewing of social media usage or smartphone usage or any media devices from a positive aspect is being very low, because the Western world and global North countries are started speaking about the right-based approaches, children rights, risks, and safety. But however, I don't think our media conception pattern is not very similar to them. There are a lot of differences, and so I went on to investigate it. The other research gap would be higher focus on younger children. When it comes to social media usage and all the digital culture, we're so much worried about the screen time. How will the too much of screen time is hard for them, not good for their health, and all those things. However, I think adolescence is a much more difficult stage, and it requires special attention also, because it's a stage of autonomy and identity seeking stage. And this parent-adolescent relationship is obviously a conflict-creating one. So I have chosen between parents and adolescents. The other research gap would be technological convergence versus consumption. Now, I could do all my media activities with one media device, yes. But however, the consumption pattern of so many media devices is still demanding. We have several needs. So how are we, between the consumers, and as audiences, there are a lot of things to be discussed, and this would be my motive for my research. With all these questions, I would like to start with this smaller comparison. So my objectives for this study would be screen media devices. I have not taken all the media devices, the screen-based media devices available and its social demographical differences, device usage availability between parents and adolescents, relationship between ownership and perceived screen time, socio-economic status and number of media devices used, gender differences. Next slide. Okay. For the study, I have taken survey data, conducted survey data among 480 adolescents and their parents, one of their parents, aged between 13 to 17. We have included urban and rural. A minimum balance have been maintained between boys and girls' participation. Some of the theories why for supporting the study would be social learning theory. Parents are social agents for their children and they learn from them. So the comparison would be much more helpful. And Blumber and Katz's gratification theory, people choose their media. Again, reverse socialization discussed in 1987, long ago in the Western countries. Also, consider some of the activities, parenting behaviors, which is largely being missed in the lot of parenting theories. Children act as decision makers and guide their parents too. Oh, okay. Next, the இன்னொரு theory பார்த்தோம்னா bottom up technology transmission. Young people they're not only learning from their parents, they also influence from the technology adoption and usage. Next slide. மீடியா அவைலபிலிட்டி பார்க்குறப்போ நிறைய பேர் இப்போ ஸ்மார்ட் ஃபோன் தான் ப்ரிஃபர் பண்ணுறாங்க, ஸ்மார்ட் ஃபோன் தான் யூஸ் பண்ணுறாங்க அப்படின்ற ஒரு காமன் பெர்செப்ஷன் இருக்குது. பட் ஆக்சுவலாக மேஜர் ஆஃப் த ஸ்டடீஸ் நம்ம பார்த்தோன்னா urbanலேருந்து தான் வருது. ஸோ we think we start discussing about social media, OTT, all the things. But however, still larger part of the media device usage shares with the rural area. Smart TV device ஒரு 20% மட்டும் தான் யூஸ் பண்றாங்க. Conventional media, which is without internet connectivity, is being largely used among 74%. Next slide. And particularly tablet is only used among urban families. No user has said, no sample has reported its availability in rural areas. முன்னாடி slide. Okay. வீட்டில் டிவைசஸ் அவைலபிளாக இருக்குது, பட் அதை யூஸ் பண்ணுறாங்களா அப்படிங்கிற ரேஷியோ வித் அமாங் பேரண்ட்ஸ் அண்ட் அடலசன்ஸ் நாங்கள் கம்பேர் பண்ணோம். அதில் பார்க்கும்பொழுது ஃபார் த அடலசன்ஸ் தெர் இஸ் நோ டிஃப்ரென்ஸ் அட் ஆல். இருந்தால் they are using it, they prefer to use it. But when it comes to parents, smartphone, laptop, computer, conventional TV, everything is significantly differed. And with all the other comparisons, we found that adolescents are being the larger consumers of media devices despite their ownership. Next slide. Now, some of the relations which we have come out with the data, smartphone ownership is directly proportional to perceived screen time, but it was not common for all the other devices, only for the smartphone. TV, இல்லனா நீங்க லேப்டாப், டேப்லெட், மற்ற டிவைசஸ் நம்ம ஓன் பண்றோம் அப்படின்னா நம்ம ஸ்கிரீன் டைம் டைரக்டா ப்ரொபோர்ஷனல் ஆகாது. பட் நீங்க ஸ்மார்ட் போன் ஓன் பண்றாங்கன்னா for both the parents and adolescents it seemed to be directly proportional. Same way socio-economic status கன்சிடர் பண்ணும்போது number of screen devices available, upper the higher socio-economic status people have large number of media devices, screen media devices in their home, which can be seen on the upper middle தான் 4-5 screen devices வீட்டில் இருக்கிறதெல்லாம் அங்கே அந்த ரேஷியோ காட்டுது, மற்றதில் காட்டல. அண்ட் another thing, perceived screen time பார்க்கும்பொழுது ஏன் இந்த ரிஸ்க் நம்ம வெஸ்டர்ன் வேர்ல்டில் அதிகமாக டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ண நமக்கு இங்கேயே அதை ரொம்ப அவ்வளோ எக்ஸாஜரேட் பண்ணுறோம் அப்படின்னா, அமெரிக்கன் பாப்புலராக அவங்களுடைய அடலசன்ஸ் ஸ்க்ரீன் டைம் இஸ் அரவுண்ட் 6 hours per day on an average. But whereas நம்ம Indian adolescents அவ்வளோ டைம் கிடையாது, 2 to 3 hours or 1 to 2 hours per day. They go to the schools mobile phones not allowed and all other device consumption கம்மியா இருக்கு. So we have to reconsider all our perspectives regarding all those media devices usage and screen time related things. Okay, next slide. Gender differences பார்க்கும்பொழுது we did not see any gender differences with regard to other devices. ஸ்மார்ட்ஃபோன் மட்டும் போகும்பொழுது ஒரு இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங்கான ஃபேக்ட் என்னன்னா, availability and usage preference is more among girls. But however, ownership and perceived screen time was much higher, significantly higher among boys, which this also explains the cultural differences in our India. Among parents, fathers obviously owned smartphone devices more than their mothers. Next slide. We also study this media content usage and perceived screen time. Regarding cinema, series, listening to music, consuming news are all much popular among parents. When it comes to adolescents, watching videos online, gaming, web browsing, social networking were common among adolescents. It doesn't mean that the other category people are not using them, but however significantly different. But the point is, adolescents today are also giving importance to the conventional screen media devices like TV. They listen to music, they consume news. Consuming news was not much different between, did not show any gender differences to our surprise. No gender differences were noted between parents and adolescents. When it comes to rural and urban, a similar graph was observed, where using all this cinema and listening to music, consuming news were popular among the rural people. When it comes to urban, gaming, web browsing and social networking were higher among urban cities. Now, why it is very important is, often the risk, safety related media usages come root from the urban place. And so it is being vastly discussed. But the fact is, India is not full of urban. 2/3 of the Indian population is belong to rural area. And so we need to consider the rural people studies. And so it's not always about social media and smartphones. More importance can be given to all other screen media devices. The next slide. Of content preferences, we could see that adolescents also prefer watching news, consuming news, listening to music, watching cinema and series and TV kind of devices, not always dependent on smartphones. Next. And they have shown a similar pattern. Some of the very key points I would like to discuss is, there are so many, I'm not saying that there was no research from India at all. There is so many research, but only during the pandemic period. Largely among pandemic period, which we are no more in a pandemic. So I think the contemporary research update is needed. The again thing is often when it comes to social media topic, we discuss about the fear of missing out, all other things. There are a lot of positive aspects when coming to social media usage, which needs to be think. I have really glad with the other presenters. I have seen that it is being always seen in the negative side of social media usage and media usage devices, and detox as being mindfulness is being recommended. However, it's not the case. They're no more going to be away from our lives. We have to be with them. So I think more of digital culture related studies have to root. Then again, adolescents are the leading consumers. I think I'm majorly covered. And of course, there are recent studies from Shakuntala Banerjee. Some of the Indian scholars are really contributing to these children and media related studies. Shakuntala Banerjee from 2017, he has published a book, Children and Media in India. Usha Raman, 2022, recently has published a Childscape, Mediascape in Children and Media in India. I think this research might give an different perspective, justifying the conference theme, media metamorphosis. New media doesn't, disappear the cultural practice, old cultural practices. Conventional TV is still being relevant. All other media devices and media practices being still relevant, and I think equal importance also could be given for them. Thank you for the opportunity.
Good. Actually, we have a lot of questions for you also, but unfortunately, we don't have a time to discuss this. Next.
So the next presenter is Dr. Karpagam, Assistant Professor, Department of English from Shashan Jain College.
A very good afternoon. We all usually watch movies. And whenever I watch a movie, I'll have an idea when I come out of the theater to write an article out of that movie. But never I did that. I'll forget and I'll go to my routine. But when I come across with the international conference title, Metamorphosis, a political and crisis communication for the social change, a changing audience and consumption patterns, I thought of writing an article. That's why I took Mamannan for my analysis. So the paper is titled as An Analysis of the Movie Mamannan Through the Lens of Sociology of Media. Sociology of media. It is a concept and it is a subfield that analyzes media through sociological perspectives. And we all know media has the ability to influence people and with its complicated dynamics. And movie has become an integral part of mass media, and in particular, films. And Tamil film industry, with special reference, has created a greater impact in the lives of the people. Astute politicians and intelligent social activists, they have used cinema as a medium to propagate their ideas. As a Tennyson in his ode to West Wind wishes the West Wind to be his prophet, to be his trumpet, here, the Tamil industry heroes and the great leaders, they had made cinema as their trumpet of prophecy. The present presentation is based on the social perspectives of the analysis of the movie, Maamannan. And we all know the plot of the movie, that here we have Maamannan, Vadivelu, starred by Vadivelu. And he is a party worker from Rasipuram district at Salem. And Adiveeran, that is his son, he had initially a good relationship with his father, but one incident happened where he lost the relationship. Actually, that is, he don't want to have a good relationship with his father because he didn't support him. Even though he is a party worker, he is not ready to support the marginalized community. So that is the incident. So this incident has taken. So here we can see how the subtleties of the caste system was explained by director Mari Selvaraj. And the relationship at one point turned back. That means he regained his relationship with his father. So this duo, father and son, they want to fight back the antagonist, that is Ratnavel, who is from the top caste community. So the situation changes here because they want to show the oppression towards the Ratna Vadivelu, that is the antagonist. So the sociological analysis here, it talks about the subtleties of caste system. It views the construction of casteism in a society, and it presents how the hegemonic discourses, even the words that they use, had the impact on the subtleties of caste system in the society. So this is the sociological analysis. So it tries to expose how the violence against marginalized communities is focused. And when it comes to the theories, I tried to apply 3 theories. Only because of these three theories, I took this as my research topic. That is, one is, next slide. So these 3 theories I am trying to apply: spiral of silence theory, 2-step flow theory, and the cultivation theory. In the spiral of silence theory, we have the lower community, that is the marginalized communities, fearing to have fear to come out of their oppressions. So that is the spiral of silence theory, and it was proposed by Elizabeth Noel in 1974. So here we can see the spiral, that is the silence. They will keep silence in order to express their feelings against the dominant caste. So the social exclusion, because of the fear of social exclusion. So here Vadivelu, he never sit back. Actually, that is the exact climactic scene which I want to quote here. They both will meet, the duo, father and son, they go to meet Ratnavel to compensate or to talk about some problem. So at that time, even though when the chair is there, Vadivelu didn't sit. Just he will stand. But Ratnavel, he will sit and he will speak to man, even though his age is very young. So here we can see the age as a social variable. So what he will do, he will just ask Vadivelu to stand there and speak. But Udayanidhi, Adiveeran, his son, he insists him to sit. Immediately this man, the antagonist, says, this is the long time practice, don't try to break it on the go. And he had that feeling to question Vadivelu when he tries to sit at the chair. The chairs are empty, but he never sit. He shows that reluctancy to sit there. So when Udayanidhi makes him to sit, when Udayanidhi compels him to sit, he will ask, he will get that irritation, and he asked, என்ன பழக்கம்னா இது, என்ன பழக்கம்னா இது. When he says these two times, we can see the emotions in the face of Vadivelu, and that is the fear of silence, the spiral of silence theory. So the fear of isolation that Vadivelu has at that time, whether these people will exclude him from the society, exclude him from the party, that has come out, and it was explained by Mari Selvaraj here. So here the person with the minority viewpoint is Vadivelu, and that fear of isolation is explained through this spiral of silence theory. And the next theory I would like to share here, or I used here, is the two-step flow theory, which is introduced by Hessel Gaudet, Bernard Bolson, and Paul. That is the flow of the message of the opinion leaders in turn leads the messages to lesser active users. That is, opinion leaders or the active media users who always collect information, who had the facility to get information and collect information, and what they will do, they disseminate and diffuse the exact information which they want to convey it to the less active users. So here we can see opinion leaders, two opinion leaders. One is Mari Selvaraj and another one is Udayanidhi. For example, Udayanidhi is an opinion leader who had used this film as a propaganda to his principles of his own party. And in the same way, Mari Selvaraj, if you look into the films of Mari Selvaraj, continuously he talks about the discriminated society, the marginalized communities. So in that way, he tries to show that he is also an opinion leader, so that the people will believe and the audience will look into him. In the same way, Udayanidhi, he stands for the marginalized community. That is, he wants to show that he stands for the marginalized community. And the third theory is the cultivation theory, which is proposed by George Gerbner. And here the prolonged expression of a media content has shaped the individuals. So if we look into this film, the prolonged conception of these type of discrimination against the marginalized communities had given a chance for the marginalized communities. That is, it has given an empowerment for the marginalized communities to come out of it. That is, when at the end, when Vadivelu is ready to accept and when he is ready to stand in that election, it has helped them to get the message that even the marginalized communities can come out with of them. So the outcome of the result is it insights into the social dynamics, empowerment of the marginalized voices, and it critically engaged with the themes. Thank you.
So the next presenter is Miss Mohana Priya, Assistant Professor from the Department of English, Shasun College.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. My topic is tracing the young adult literature in the select movies of director Selva Raghavan. So, next slide. Yeah, young adult literature, we generally apply young adult literature traits to novels. We also do it with short stories. The point here is we have certain characteristics. Actually, we divide literature. This concept began with the librarians. When they had to segregate the books, they had to segregate it into children's literature and adult literature. And recently, there's this category also that has come into the library, which is young adult. And there's also something called new adult. So children's literature maybe till the age of 11 or 12, and then comes young adult literature, which is from 11 or 12 years to 19 years. And then we talk about new adult literature written for the age category from 19 to 27, 28. And after that, it becomes adult literature. So this categorization actually began with the librarians. We don't have a particular person coining this term, but later Michael Card spoke about young adult literature, but it basically began in the United States, wherein librarians wanted to categorize certain books written for teens or written by narrated by the teenage protagonists under young adult literature. So these are some of the traits. One important aspect is it is narrated by a teenager. When it comes to a novel, the hero or the heroine, the protagonist of the novel is a teenager, and then it focuses on the emotions that the protagonist goes through in his or her teens. Then the narrative is obviously unstable in the sense the narrator himself or herself would definitely conflict with his or her own decision.
For example, when we read a novel, maybe at page number 10 or 11, there'll be a statement from the narrator. Later, the same statement would be refuted by the same narrator when it comes to page 80 or 81. So it depends on when he or she is coming of age through his process of narration. So the narrative is generally unstable and it deals with the emotions of the teenage. Then parents definitely at loggerheads with the characters because of the age group or because of the teens not understanding the parents or the parents not understanding the teens. Of course, coming of age both physically and mentally. Till the end of the narration, there's no coming of age at all because till the end, the narrator is in search of his or her own self-identity. And setting is very important. The background of these novels or short stories would definitely have a school setting or a college setting. Ma'am, next. Yeah, I have taken up Selva Raghavan's movie to analyze or to trace young adult literature. Of course, when we get into the categories of English movies, we would see young adult there. But when it comes to Tamil movies, I think the term itself is a little new because we don't categorize movies as adult movies. Of course, there is adult based on the censorship, but categorizing young adult movies, I just wanted to try with Selva Raghavan movies. And this is just a simple intro about director Selva Raghavan, and we know him as Dhanush's brother. I mean, I personally know him as Dhanush's brother and then only as director Selva Raghavan. So these are some of his movies, and he made his acting debut in Beast, which is Vijay's movie. Next slide, ma'am. Yeah, these three movies I have chosen, Tulluvado Ilamai, 7G Rainbow Colony, and Kadal Kondain. Just in 2 lines about each movie. Tulluvado Ilamai, again, it's a school setting. It's by Dhanush and Sharon. For both of them, this was their first movie. So it's about school students there and how they do their... In fact, Dhanush comes... the movie begins with Dhanush coming as a military officer, narrating the story as a flashback, but he narrates it only as a teenager and not as a 25 or 30-year-old military officer. So it talks about students studying there, doing their 11th and 12th standard, then after exam, they flee their house, they leave the house to make sure that their parents or their relatives know they are important. So that is the setting of Tulluvado Ilamai. 7G Rainbow Colony, the heroine is a college student and he is a dropout, Kadir. And again, there's a college setting. They show how the heroine goes to college. Again, it talks about teenage emotions. And Kadal Kondain, both of them belong to the same class, Anush as well as Sonia Agarwal. Again, it is a college setting. Later, maybe he falls in love with the heroine. In fact, it is not a complete love. He just wants her presence in his life. It can be as a girlfriend or a wife, but they portrayed it as a love. And there are also instances in Kadal Kondain wherein the woman has given so much of importance. I'll come to that point when we discuss women characters specifically portrayed in these movies. Ma'am, next slide. Yeah, so the first point when it comes to young adult literature, the protagonist is a teenager, whether it is Tulluvado Ilamai or 7G Rainbow Colony or Kadal Kondain. Again, that narrator, the protagonist is a teenager narrating his own story. The narrative is a little unstable because they themselves, right from Tulluvado Ilamai to Kadal Kondain, the hero himself refutes his own point. Initially, when the movie starts, he has his own perceptions, his own statements about the society. By the end of the movie, we see the same hero refuting his point in the name of maturity. Then, till the end, whether it is Dhanush there or Kadir here, who is Ravi, the actor's name is Ravi, and again Kadal Kondain Dhanush, they are still in search of self-identity. Yes, next. These movies, even the young adult novels, the women characters are very strong. In fact, though the protagonist, the hero, is a male, these women characters are the ones who anchorize these males. They give enough support to all these protagonists. So in Tulluvado Ilamai, we have Pooja, who is his own schoolmate, classmate. 7G Rainbow Colony, his neighbor is Anita, who is doing her college studies. And Kadal Kondain, again, Divya is his classmate in his college. So, and these heroes themselves keep them on a pedestal. In Kadal Kondain, we also have a song wherein he compares her to a mother and he wants to be reborn on his lap like how he was born to his mother. So, they themselves give a higher pedestal to all these
these women characters. So the role of women characters when it comes to adult literature, young adult literature is very important, and that is also because whether it is movies or novels, a woman of a teenage and a man of a teenage, comparatively, the society sees a woman to be a little more mature than the men community. Maybe that is one of the reasons why the director also portrayed it that way. Ma'am, next slide. Yeah, setting, I think I've discussed. It's a school setting in Tuluadu Ilamai and 7G Rainbow Colony and Kadal Contain. It's a college setting. And the setting actually manifests the psychological state of the narrator. I wanted to try applying a psychoanalytical theory here, where, for example, in Kadal Contain, Dhanush is an orphan who gets into child labor and he undergoes a lot of trauma during his childhood days. He also has a childhood friend who will be raped in the movie in order to save Dhanush. So that trauma later gets manifested as a setting in the movie, because in the later half of the movie we see the director doing that, wherein Dhanush takes Sonia Agarwal along with him to a dense forest. So the density in Dhanush's mind, his aloofness and his untamed mindset is reflected in the setting portrayed in the movie. Yes, ma'am, next. Parents at loggerheads with their children, all these, of course, Kadal Content, we don't have parents for Vinod, Dhanush, but the other movies, all of the students portrayed, all of the same age group students, they are definitely at loggerheads either with the parents or with the elderly people at home. Yes, next. This is very important because generally when we talk about young adult literature, it is literature written for the age group between 11 and 19. But when it comes to movies, when we categorize these movies under young adult literature, most of them are given the rating as A, which means these young adults can't watch them when they are 18 or 16 or 17. They can only watch them after they cross 18. So that is the major difference that I see. Even out of these three movies, 2 are A rated, 1 alone is U by A. So that is a basic difference. No, not even, I'm not talking about basic, but a huge difference when it comes to young adult literature and young adult movies. And parents, this is because I think in general our society, we don't allow people to watch, our own children to watch such movies when they are in their teens, because the movies are so raw, the narration is so unstable. But I would personally like to argue that this is the trait of young adults. So it is left up to the parents to allow them to watch it or not. But in our society, it is not permitted, especially because of the censor board also. Next. Yeah, future scope, whatever movies I've chosen now, all these through 3 movies are narrated by a male protagonist. I am yet to come across movies in Tamil wherein a female teenager has narrated the story, taking up the central role of narrating it. Maybe comparing the narration, this narrative with that narrative, maybe there might be a difference in the stability of the narration when it comes to a woman narrating it from her perspective. So that would be the future scope of the study. Yeah, thank you.
In the first slide, you mentioned about that young adult literature. So how you link with this particular movies?
Young adult literature, I was exposed to young adult literature only in 2016 when I went in for a discussion. There was one research scholar who was working on young adult literature. So while she was telling me these traits, that these are the characteristics of a particular novel or young adult literature, I was reminded of all these movies because I was prohibited to watch these movies when I was in 11th and 12th standard. So that is where that curiosity came from. So I just thought maybe why couldn't we classify these as young adults? So the traits, I felt that these young adult traits were fitting on to these movies of Selva Raghavan. Of course, there are other movies, Kushi, Kadalar Dinam and all, but that is too mature for that age. I don't think 18, 19 years Vijay would be that matured like how he's been portrayed in Kushi. So I specifically chose these 3 movies. And Selva Raghavan, I've always felt that we've understood him very late, not at the time of the movie release, only when we go back to his movies after a few years. No personal connection, no favoritism, but I've always felt that he dealt with the reality of that age group. So I chose these 3 movies.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
So our last presenter for today is Dr. K. Abhiraj, Assistant Professor, Department of Visual Communication, Shasun College.
Okay. Considering time, I'll go for my research topics and findings. It's been from 2013 I'm doing research on social media. When I started research, I don't see more of social media apps. But now social media is very familiar with all the age groups. When I started research, it was very popular among only youngsters who use smartphones. So today I want to discuss about a study on psychological impact of social media on women's college students in Chennai. Being I'm working in a women's college, I want to know three things. That is why this research is three questions. Yeah. Does social media influence in any other way of a social relationship? Does use of social media affects study culture? Do social media impact their psychological behavior? So with these three questions, I have done research in quantitative form. My methodology is survey method. I use a survey method and I analyzed only for this today presentation I've done a frequency, but I've done a test to my paper. So full paper will be done through SPSS and I've done some test tests for that. So generally speaking about women students analysis, ma'am. So considering even now students, women students, they don't go out more comparatively, they spend more time on online. When you compare with boys, girl students or women students, they spend more time in online. So that's why they say that I'm more comfortable when I'm in online. So it was very neutral data. It's 47%, more than 47% of women students, they said that they spend more, they are more comfortable in online. And I feel safest when I am on the internet. This opinion was a bit different. That's here also. They disagreed. So one literature I've read it is Gross, who have done research paper in 2007. He said that social media is used for personal and leisure occasions, not more than that. So that literature will implies in this data. And moreover, ma'am, are you changing? Yes. I often keep thinking about something I experienced on online well after I logged off. This is the data that most of people who said that yes, we agree, though they don't have an internet, they don't have any other stuff, even they work in a kitchen or else do other activities, they think about what they did in online. So most of students, women students, they agreed it. And when I'm on the internet, I often feel kind of a rush or emotional high. We know that most of people will be very active participant in internet, but when come to offline, they won't be, speaking a lot. If we ask them to do or protest, they will protest in the social media. They do physically, they won't do it. So they always have emotional high on it. So all the women students, they said that they agreed to that point. And finally, I never stay no longer than I planned. It's neutral, and again they disagreed for it because we can't plan it. Nowadays we have a lot of content in a social media which steals our time. So it was equal. It states that they plan, they do, and they may not. Okay. And my findings is, I'll directly go to the conclusion. So we have more than 27 popular social media apps where students are using nowadays. It psychologically impacts, especially in Chennai. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter are the most popular app which is used by students, and Snapchat also. And the result is that they have a pragmatic of use of social media influences their social connection of female students, and this implies in a wide and active friendship being in acquaintance through the communication uh, using social networking sites. The recommendations is there is a necessity of ma'am recommendation. There is necessity of government should make a policy for that to oversee the technology of a content and information existing in social networking sites. Parents should observe, confirm that their children's intensity of indulgence and use of social media. Instruction of frequency of disclosure is advised to stem the negative influence of social media on students, and students should be oriented concerning the cause of social media, overact and social psychological implication. Thank you.
So, as we conclude this session of presentations,
There is no space for the Q&A session, though, so that there is no discussion on these things, because after the third or fourth person, I think we don't have a proper Q&A session. Here I would like to mention on important thing that there is a lot of studies. I think Iridi Chutru, Mamannan, and one more film, no, that is the last one, and also from the Anna University girl were present on that Malayalam movies. So here very important thing that, yeah, Stella Maris, okay. Thing I have to mention on faculty member also, I think Madam Ware mentioned that after watching the film, I'm very much interested to write the article. Actually, here in Tamil Nadu, there is 5 interesting journals were coming on films. I don't think so that how many visual communication or electronic media faculties or the students were there in this department are watching that particular magazines. These are all the very interesting magazines which focused on the research-oriented articles. For example, Padapetti is there from Parisal, and Padachurul were from Tamil Studio, and Nilal from Tirunavakarasu were publishing last 25 years regarding that particular Iran movies on the Terra itself. He is giving a lot of interesting inputs on that research article oriented that were published on that magazine. So another interesting books were also published in Tamil, which is from Amsan Kumar, Cinema Rasanai. It's a very important book which discussed about that film appreciation in Tamil. So there is these are all the very important things that we have to mention here. The people who are presenting the paper on these particular topics. The related you have to go through, and you contribute to that kind of magazines also. It's not only a magazine, it's a series journals which published the interesting article related to. And one more thing that I have to mention here, the people, those who are working on that research, the people were not become a member of the international bodies related to that research. For example, ICA and IAMCR. So ICA, International Communication Association alone, which is published nearly 13 journals, which is free of cost journal for the people, those who are become a member of that particular association. So which gives the contemporary research what's going on there in this particular field, and they mentioned a lot of interesting articles, and you people were communicate with that peer groups also. Another one is that International Association for the Media Communication Research. It's also very interesting journal. They were also publishing that. In that journal also you may find out these kind of articles. So I request the people, those who are doing a research on this one, maybe go through these kind of international organizations which gives a lot of interesting articles on your topics. So here in this presentation, I have to mention some of that articles, particularly that were deals with the very interesting theories and modules. One is about the Vishwa Lakshmi AS, an examination of political PR strategies portrayed in the Malayalam cinema, a content analysis of Malayalam films from the 2014 to 2023. This article actually, already asked the question about that article. The title of that, you have to change that one. But the content of that article is very interesting, and she discussed about a lot of things with that theories. 3 important theories were also applied that one. So I think this paper will be the first one here in this session. So இப்போ அப்படி எடுத்ததுனால அடுத்த தலைப்புகளில் எடுத்த அந்த ரிசர்ச் எல்லாம் வந்து சரியான ரிசர்ச்ன்ட்டுலாம் இங்கே சொல்லவே இல்லை. ஒவ்வொன்றும் ஒவ்வொரு ஜானரில் சூப்பரான ரிசர்ச் தான். அதை இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் டெவலப் பண்ணி ஐ திங்க் யூ பீப்புள் ஆர் சென்ட் இட் டு தீஸ் கைண்ட் ஆஃப் ஜேர்னல்ஸ் அங்கே பப்ளிஷ் பண்ணலாம். இட்ஸ் வெரி என்ன சொல்கிறது, தே ஆர் ரெடி டு பப்ளிஷ் தட் கைண்ட் ஆஃப் திங்ஸ். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், நவ் அட் ப்ரெசென்ட் தெர் இஸ் ஒன் இன்டர்நேஷ்னல் ஷார்ட் ஃபில்ம் அண்ட் டாக்குமெண்ட்ரி festival is going on with the help of RP Amudan. We are celebrating that. Unfortunately, the people were not aware of that one, and we people were not sending the students to that kind of events. இதே கேரளாவில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா they are conducting that event, and there is a lot of people who are paid that amount and go to that கைண்ட் ஆஃப் காம்படிஷன்ஸ் அல்லது அந்த மாதிரியான ஃபெஸ்டிவல்ஸ்க்கு. ஆனால் இங்கே வந்து ஃப்ரீயாகவே நடத்தினாலே வி பீப்புள் வேர் நாட் ரெடி டு கோ, அல்லது மாணவர்களை நம்ம அனுப்ப மாட்டேன்றோம். இன்றைக்கி வந்து ரோஜா முத்தையால் நடக்குது. காலையில் கால் பண்ணி அவர் சொல்கிறாரு, தெர் இஸ் நோ ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் வேர் ஃப்ரம் த மீடியா அப்படின்ட்டு. அதாவது என்னன்னா, இந்த மாதிரியானது ஃப்ரீயாக கொடுக்கும்பொழுது வி பீப்புள் ஆர் நாட் ரெடி டு பார்ட்டிசிபேட். ஃப்ரீ தான் பார்த்துக்கலாம் அப்படின்ற மாதிரி. ஒருவேளை சார்ஜ் பண்ணால் போவாங்களா அப்படின்னா அது வந்து ஒரு விதத்தில் ஒரு கொஷின் மார்க்காக தான் இருக்குது. அவரும் ஒவ்வொரு அநேகமாக உங்கள் காலேஜ்லேயும் வந்து அப்ரோச் பண்ணியிருந்துருக்கலாம்னு நினைக்கிறேன். ஒவ்வொரு காலேஜ்லேயும் வந்து அவரே அப்ரோச் பண்ணி அவரே ஃப்ரீயாக வந்து நடத்துகிறார். ஸோ இந்த மாதிரியானதெல்லாம் வந்து நம்ம போகும்பொழுது வி வில் கெட் அ சம் கிரிட்டிக்கல் analysis. For example, if you go to that Kerala International Film Festival, you will get a different type of inputs. There is a lot of sessions where they are regarding the films பற்றி பேசுறது, அவங்கள பற்றி அதை டீகோட் பண்ணி பண்ணுறதெல்லாம். So these are all the very important things, and I must congratulate the team that who organized simultaneously ஆன்லைனையும் இதுலேயும் சேர்த்து பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கிறதுன்றது. இட்ஸ் அ ஹெக்டிக் ஜாப். அது எப்படி கரெக்டாக பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கீங்கன்னு ஆச்சரியமா இருக்கு. I must congratulate the team.
Welcome you all back after the lunch. On behalf of the Internal Quality Assurance Cell and School of Media and Communication, in collaboration with Bayan College, Oman, affiliated to Purdue University, Northwest USA, I cordially welcome Madam Principal, distinct guests, dignitaries joined us from the Bayan College virtually, teachers, participants, as we gather for the valedictory session for this conference. Your presence has enriched our discussions and elevated the exchange of ideas. As we prepare to bid farewell, let this moment be a celebration of the knowledge shared, connections made, and the collaborative spirit that defines this gathering. Thank you for being an integral part for this conference, and may the bonds forged here continue to inspire and propel us forward. Welcome to the valedictory session. I hereby request Dr. Jeng, Professor and Head, College of Social and Humanities Science, Media and Communication, Izmir Khatib Celebi University, to extend the valedictory note. This will be followed by Dr. Kavita Sumesh Kumar, Director of the IPQA Bayan College, and Dr. Tamil Selvi, Head of Department Media Studies, Bayan College, to deliver the vote of thanks. Dr. Jeng. After graduating from Istanbul University, Faculty of Communication, Department of Radio, TV, Cinema, he studied French language at Université de Lille in France. While working as a research assistant at Istanbul University for his doctorate in Radio, TV, Cinema, he received scholarships from the Principality of Monaco and France and conducted research on documentary film and television in France. Since 1993, he has worked as a director, voice actor, and presenter in various radio and television organizations. The documentary and fiction short films he directed are screened in many national and international film festivals and broadcasted on public and private televisions. Dr. Jeng, who has lectured at many universities in Turkey, as well as universities in Portugal, Kyrgyzstan, and Oman, is currently a faculty member at Izmir Khatib Celebi University, Faculty of Social and Human Sciences, Department of Media and Communication. Dr. Jeng has 5 books and 24 films in his filmography. Over to you, sir.
Assalamu alaikum, wanakam, and hello. Greetings from Turkey. And good afternoon, all respectful colleagues and dear students. It's an honor to be a part of this delightful conference with valedictory address. I would also like to say that I'm so happy to see my colleagues, my friends in Bayan College, because I had 1.5 year work period with them together there, and I returned lots of beautiful memories from Oman, from media studies departments and in Bayan College. In this conference on the metamorphosis of the media, I would like to say the last words on the evolution and transformation of television, because I study mostly television and documentary, and I wanted to say something about metamorphosis on television, television's evolution. In 1993, in my first year as a student at the university, our professor told us that television screens will be rectangular in the future. She also said that 16:9 aspect ratio, screen aspect ratio, used in broadcasting, and it will be a standard. The television image quality would reach the image or quality of cinema. Television sets would be thin, without a tube, and TV sets would be hung on the wall like a painting. When I say tube, it's strange for students, I know. The new generation doesn't know that. But how? It was a long process. We were shocked. We discussed the subjects a lot at that time. All television sets at home, at work, everywhere in the world would be changed. And we found it as a crazy idea. It seemed almost impossible, at least very tough. But it didn't turn out that way. And HD TV systems came into our lives with the new millennium. What I witnessed in this personal story was the metamorphosis of the media. This was technical metamorphosis, just like in the field of video editing. I will give another example about my video editing story. I learned linear editing at university because at that time, linear editing was common in media industry. And we practiced with Umatic cassettes. Maybe some of you remember Umatic cassettes, Betacam SPs. During my studies, I was also working in the industry and shooting with Betacam SP cameras and editing news and movies in linear editing units. There was Avid also, but Avid editing units were new and rare found in television channels or production houses at that time. By the new millennium, by 2000s, digital video systems and linear editing systems became common. And I had to learn again. Linear video, I had to learn non-linear editing system, because non-linear editing systems became common. Imagine the technology you learned during your education is changing, and you don't know the new system. You studied for nothing sometimes, because they don't use anymore. It was a big surprise for us, and we took on the role of a student again and start learning. Starting in 1950s, in various countries, television was a socializing tool that brought family members together until the 90s. For example, in the evening, family members would sit in front of television and watch together. This had a socializing effect, especially when there was only one channel or a few channels in the country. Television became more accessible in the 90s, and television sets became cheaper in many countries. Households had more than one television set. Although there were some differences from country to country, the general picture was as follows: a TV for the mother in the kitchen, a TV for the father in the living room, a TV for the child in his or her room. This was common. Because of everyone dynamically stood in front of television separately, the socializing function of television ended. In the 90s, The number of channels also increased because transnational broadcasting developed in the world via satellites. Music television, CNN International, and TV5 Monde, Francophone French channel, were the pioneers of the cross-border television broadcasting in the second half of 80s. Transnational television broadcasting became wide in 90s. Many countries, especially European countries, first, they launched their international public broadcasting channels for their expat communities or diasporas. And this transnational broadcasting, television broadcasting, designed new contents and new formats for a cross-border audience. Thanks to satellite technology, the increasing number of television channels offered viewers many options. At the same time, many societies had the chance to address the world in their own culture and their own language. Also, satellite technology affected radio broadcasting in the same way. Digital television broadcasting took the transformation of television to a different level. While the internet accelerated the metamorphosis of media with Web 2.0, the new media was born. In this new era of convergence, the new media, which has encompassed all traditional media and changed the forms and contents of broadcasting and viewing, has also given individuals the opportunity to broadcast. This is very important. With Web 2.0, television has become a socializing tool again. But this time, not physically, but virtually. This is where the concept of social television emerged. As you know, social television covers a wide range of activities. An individual can participate in active communication on social media with smartphone while watching a television broadcast. IPTV viewers can interact with other viewers during a program broadcast. This is even encouraged by the broadcaster. Even though the audience is not physically present, they experience watching together. Television broadcasting on internet or internet television became impossible in the first decade of the millennium. Live stream and Ustream platforms gave opportunity to launch television channels for individuals. Then Facebook added the live broadcast feature in 2015 and Instagram added the same feature in 2016. Thus, each individual had the opportunity to broadcast. Particularly, the Twitch platform, it's very famous. It has reached the level of social television, where individual channels are broadcast in many areas of interest, especially gamers. YouTube has become the main social television today, giving anyone the freedom to broadcast. It has own visual grammar, storytelling style. There are concepts such as YouTube documentary and YouTube video, etc. Because there are big differences between YouTube videos and real documentaries or television programs. Likewise, digital platforms, OTT TVs, such as Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney, etc. There are many. They have developed their own narrative methods with the original productions they produce. In conclusion, we can say that the transformation of television is a good example of the metamorphosis of media. And we can see every media, this transformation, this metamorphosis. Finally, I would like to thank School of Communication, Shri Shankarlal Sundarbai Shasun Jain College for Women, and Bayan College for organizing this conference. All the participants, all my colleagues in Oman, in India, and all students. I wish a bright future for all students. And I would like to say hello to my students in Bayan College. Thank you all. Shukran. Nandri Vanakam. Yes.
So now we are in 2024 the progression as of now, we have AI. So, what do you think will be the media's progression in the forthcoming years? Will something else will take over AI? Your opinions on that?
Thank you very much. We started to use AI in television programs, even in cinema. For example, I want to give an example from my practical works. Last month, I narrated an advertisement film in Turkish, and they used AI for mixing, for final mix. Music, there was music, my voice, and some effects, and the studio preferred to use AI. So we have already started to use AI for productions. There are advantages, of course, but AI is not a human brain, at least. So we need human, artistic, creative sides always.
May I request Dr. Kavita Sumesh and Dr. Tamil Selvi to deliver the vote of thanks?
On behalf, first of all, I would like to apologize. I couldn't attend the inaugural function. So we had something very urgent from the ministry, so we couldn't. We had a minister visit, so I had to excuse. So it was yesterday, to be frank, I couldn't go through the sessions, but today from the morning I was attending the session. It was nice. So officially, I would like to thank on behalf of Bayan College governance body, management team, both the organizers, Shashan College organizers and Bayan College organizers. It was not easy in the short time moving the time from here and now. And a special thanks to whole team from Oman, being a holiday, Friday, we know how it is. So, and our students and the students from Shashan College, all presenters, participants, a special thanks from Bayan College. At the same time, we hope to collaborate in future such events and other research collaboration. And it was happy to see Dr. Zhang today. It's been like 6 months now. We did not have a conversation. So it was nice. And thank you all. And I would like to pass on the mic to Dr. Tamal to continue with the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Kavita. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. Respected dignitaries and participants of the conference, I'm here with a heart full of gratitude and immense joy as we come to the close of this remarkable international conference, Media Metamorphosis. On behalf of the Dean, Dr. Mohammed Al-Karoushi, Director of Institutional Planning and Quality Assurance, Ms. Kavita, and my beloved teammates from the Media Studies Department, I extend my deepest thanks to everyone who has played a crucial role in making this event a resounding success. First and foremost, my sincere appreciation to our collaborative institution, Shashan Jain College. I sincerely thank the management, principal, and the School of Media of Shashan Jain College for Women for their unwavering support and commitment to academic excellence. The enthusiasm of the participation have truly made a difference in the overall atmosphere of this event. And this collaboration is not only enriching the diversity of perspectives, but it has also fostered a sense of unity in the pursuit of knowledge and academic achievement. I sincerely thank, acknowledge, and appreciate the efforts of our esteemed online chairs, Dr. Velayudam, Dr. Sunita, Dr. Bandita, and Dr. Usman, for their dedication and time spent ensuring the smooth flow of the sessions that have been invaluable to the success of this conference. The keynote speakers, Dr. Beulah, Dr. Subramani, Dr. Neelamalar, they do deserve a special appreciation and thanks for sharing their insights and expertise that have added immense value to our discussions and have been a source of inspiration to all of us. Now coming to Dr. Cheng, a very special thanks is reserved for Dr. Cheng for his outstanding valedictory address. Your wisdom and experience shared with us have left an indelible mark in our minds, and we are truly grateful for your presence. And as we all know, like Dr. Cheng has worked with us and is an amazing person to work with. A special note to Shashun Jain College here. Dr. Cheng loves Podi Soru from Tamil Nadu, from South India. And so he wants that to be sent in drone to Turkey. So please make sure it is done. Last but certainly not the least, our heartfelt thanks to the students of Bayan College and Shashun Jain College. Your sincere efforts and confidence in presenting the papers have been the driving force behind the success of this conference. It is the commitment to academic excellence that has made this event truly remarkable. I would like to mention my students from Bayan College who made a presentation, lovely presentation today morning. We're really proud of you. In conclusion, this conference has been a testament to the power of collaboration, dedication, and shared passion of knowledge. And as we part ways here, let us carry forward the lessons learned from the connections made and further enrich our academic journeys. Thank you once again to each and every one of you for making this international conference a resounding success. Wishing you all continued success in your academic and professional endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all for the love and support from Bayan College and Izmir Khatib Celebi University. May I request Ms. Samantha, Assistant Professor from Shashin College, to read the conference report.
Good day to all the dignitaries and paper presenters present here. I, Samantha Smith, Assistant Professor, PG Department of Journalism and Communication, present before you the report of International Conference on Media Metamorphosis 2024, Navigating Changing Voices, Audiences and Practices, organized by the IQAC and School of Media and Communication. Shri Shankarlal Sundarbai Shashun Jain College for Women, Chennai, in collaboration with Bayan College, Oman, affiliated to Purdue University, Northwest, USA. This two-day international conference on 22nd and 23rd of February 2024 was initiated with the purpose of exchanging knowledge and enriching the research minds across the globe. The brief of two-day conference overview is as follows. Day one of the event started auspiciously with lighting of the lamp by our Vice Principal, Dr. Rukmani, the keynote speakers, Dr. Neelamala, Dr. Beulah Rachel Rajaratnamani, Dr. Subramani, Ms. Aswini Chitra, and by a student representative, along with prayer song from both Shashun Jain College for Women, Chennai, and Bayan College, Oman. The inaugural address was given by Ms. Aswini Chitra, Head of the Department, Visual Communication, Shashun Jain College. The conference report was read for the day one by Dr. Mangala Vadivu, Assistant Professor, Department of Visual Communication, Shashun College. The welcome note from our collaborating institution was given by Dr. Tamil Chelvi, Head of the Department, Media Studies, and Ms. Doreen, Lecturer, Department of Media Studies, Bayan College, Oman. We had distinguished keynote speakers who shared their expertise to the actively engaged audience. Our keynote speaker, Dr. Neelam Malar, Associate Professor, Department of Media Sciences, Anna University, Chennai. Dr. Beulah Rachel Rajaratnamani, Associate Professor, Department of Journalism and Communication, University of Madras, Chennai. And Dr. R. Subramani, Associate Professor, Department of Journalism and Communication, Periyar University, Salem, inspired the gathering with their captivating speech on media that was thought-provoking. Parallel to these enriching speech, we had our first online session chaired by Dr. Usman Asad, Assistant Professor of Media Studies, Bayan College, Oman, followed by Dr. Sunita Don Bosco, Assistant Professor, Department of Media Sciences, Anna University, Chennai. Lastly, we had Dr. Bandita Kumari Panda, Associate Professor, Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, Berhampur University, Odisha, who chaired the final online session of the day. And simultaneously, we had our offline session happening with Dr. Beulah Rachel Rajaratnamani, Associate Professor, University of Madras, chairing it. On our second day of the event, we commenced it with a student panel session chaired by Dr. Bhuvana and Ms. Arya, Assistant Professors of the Department of Viscom, Shashun Jain College for Women, Chennai.
This student panel session, Students' Voices Unplugged, is an open forum for the budding researcher to voice their thoughts on the given topic. Parallel to it, we had online session headed by Dr. Velayudam, Assistant Professor, Anna University, Chennai, followed by Dr. Bandita Kumari, Associate Professor, Berhampur University, Odisha. We ended the day with our distinguished guest, Dr. T. Jai Shaktivel, Assistant Professor, Department of Journalism and Communication, University of Madras, Chennai, heading the offline session and sharing his valuable inputs to the students with his rich expertise on media studies. The valedictory address was given by Professor Dr. Cenk Demirkan, Izmir Khatib Celebi University, Turkey. The vote of thanks from Bayan College, Oman was delivered by Ms. Kavita, Research Director, Bayan College, and Dr. Tamil Shelvi, Head Media Studies, Bayan College, Oman. Our international conference had received multiple research papers from diverse cultural background that explored and resonated various perspectives of media and society globally. We received around 60 research papers, in which almost 30 papers were presented online and 30 were offline. All these papers received very good comment from our guests of our session chair. Apart from research papers, we also received around 20 contributions from students for panel student session. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. May I request our guest, Dr. Jay Shaktivel, to give away the certificate.
Good day, one and all present here. The wonderful session has just come to an end. On behalf of both the colleges, I would like to take this opportunity to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our distinguished keynote speakers, Dr. M. Neelamalar, Associate Professor, Department of Media Studies, Anna University, Dr. Beulah Rachel Rajaratnamani, Associate Professor, Department of Journalism and Communication, University of Madras, Dr. R. Subramani, Associate Professor, Member Syndicate, Government Nominee, Department of Journalism and Communication, Periyar University. Our session speakers, Dr. Muhammad Usman Syed, Assistant Professor, Department of Media Studies, Bayan College, Dr. S. Arul Selvan, Associate Professor and Head, Department of Media Sciences, Anna University, Dr. D. Jai Shaktivel, Assistant Professor, Department of Journalism and Communication, University of Madras, Dr. Pandita Kumari Panda, Department of Journalism and Communication, Berhampur University, Odisha, Dr. Velayudam Chandrasekharan, Assistant Professor, Department of Media Sciences, Anna University, and Dr. Sunita Don Bosco, Assistant Professor, Department of Media Sciences, Anna University. Our valedictory speaker, Professor Dr. Cenk Demirkan, Media and Communication Department, College of Social and Humanity Sciences, Lemir Katip Celeb University, Turkey, who made the presence for this conference. Undoubtedly, this is an eye-opening and enlightening session for researchers, academicians, and students as well. It would be definitely motivating all to do more research in their interested arena. I'm sure this conference would have been highly valuable to all those who have attended this session. In this regard, I would like to thank the college management of Sri Shankarlal Sundarbai Sashun Jain College for Women India, a respected Madam Principal, Dr. S. Padmavati, Vice Principal, Dr. S. Rukmani, IQAC Cell, Dr. C. Umarani, and heads of the departments for their effective support and guidance extended by them for the success of this event. Further, I would like to thank the Bayan College management members, Dean of the College, Dr. Mohammed bin Juma, Research Director, Ms. Kavita, and Dr. N. Tamil Shelvi, Head of the Department, Media Studies, for organizing this conference and collaborating smoothly and successfully. I wholeheartedly appreciate and thank all the research scholars, academicians, and students of various colleges and countries who have taken keen interest and efforts to attend this conference by presenting their respective contributions. Our special thanks to our beloved co-conveners, Dr. M. Mangalavadivu, Ms. Amanda Smith, Dr. Ebiraj, for their consistent support. Additionally, I do thank all our staff members, technical staff members, and students who have made this conference a grand one. Last but not the least, I would like to thank the Almighty for being with us and blessing us throughout this event. Thanks once again. Thank you.
I request everyone to please raise for the national anthem, followed by Oman's national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जाहे तब शुभ आशीष माहे गाहे तव जय धारा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे